anyone ？OK，非常好，非常好。Great，大家好，大家早上好，Hello everyone，我是奔放，I'm 奔放，Welcome you guys to another Chinese class，欢迎大家又来到我的课堂。现在我在中国，现在是中国的下午3点，在欧洲欧洲的朋友们早上好，早上好啊。现在在欧洲是早上9点，对不对？早上9点。今天你们怎么样？今天好不好？有没有很多朋友很早起床啊？如果你已经在这儿和我说一个 hi 啊，if anyone already here, feel free to say hi and feel free to introduce yourself 啊，很好。今天在我的家很冷，因为今天没有暖气，从今天开始没有暖气，所以非常非常冷啊。今天我起床起得很晚今天我可以去外面走一走，因为我结束了我的隔离啊。Hi Carol，Hi Shan，你们好，你们好Carol，你在法国怎么样？今天你昨天睡得好不好？你起得很早吗？啊，山是新朋友山你是哪里人？你是你的名字是中国的名字，对不对？很好现在是下午我喝啤酒，我喝一杯啤酒，Cheers，干杯！你们喝什么？在喝咖啡吗？啊，今天很好很好。Hi Bettina Hi，大家好For the new friends 新的朋友你们学习中文多长时间了？How long have you been guys studying Chinese？你们学习中文多长时间了今天是你们第一次来上我的课吗？Is it the first time you come to this class？呃很好，Carol 喝咖啡对吧？喝咖啡今天我也喝了一杯咖啡呃，Milena 很好，你好，你好我的老朋友欢迎你，欢迎你今天我们today we are still going to learn pronunciation and maybe some of you are coming by the title of time, but for time we will do it for next week. Next week we will do time for sure. Today we will wrap up the pronunciation tips because it has been left for the first 2 class. Today will be the last one for the pronunciation class. 你好，娜亚，娜亚，欢迎欢迎大家都起得很早everyone gets up very early，起得很早非常好，非常好Annie，Annie，yes，Annie，yes，Annie，你是哪国人？你是哪国人第一件事first thing first, I have a very good news，好消息，好消息 to tell everyone's。the coming week，下个星期there will be more live streaming class. So I just give you guys a spoiler about what I'm going to cover for next week. But please, guys, tell me your current level, which HSK level you are at, or the European standard, A1, A2, B1, B2. Tell me your level so I can prepare my contents accordingly. And now I'm going to share my screen to give you a spoiler about what we will cover for the coming week. Just 1 second 下个星期我们会学习很有意思的话题好，所以下个星期我觉得我有4节课， I think I may have 4 or 5 classes, live classes for the coming week. And the spoiler is here. 剧透 is the spoiler. So you guys knows that 我们的生活 our lives 我们的生活离不开 cannot be apart from these 4 things. These 4 things in China, this is a saying, a very popular saying. Our life cannot be apart from 衣食住行衣食住行 that's the 4 aspect that from China and from everyone's life. So 衣 is short for 衣服 衣服 clothing, and 食 is short for 食物 the food, the general term for to tell the food. 住 is represent 居住 to live to live in a house, live in a city, live in an environment. 居住 and the last aspect is 行 行 is short for 出行 which means to go on a journey. So our next week's 下个星期4个话题4个方面 for topics for aspects will be shopping, restaurant talk, house and city, include the difference between big city, small city, and also for travel, the trip, and how to transit. 很好我看到Milena, for sure you have a better level than 0, right? 非常好Carol A1 going on A2, 谢谢 HSK2, Bettina HSK2. Okay. Annie said I have a bit Chinese years ago in school, so I'm pretty much beginner again. Okay. So most people are elementary level. That's good. That's okay. So I will prepare something more practical, something you can use immediately after class. So for example, for shopping, next week we will introduce how to tell price, how to negotiate negotiate the price in the market. And for restaurant, we will learn like how to order, how to pay, to get a check, and how to recognize some certain typical food and meat in China. For 居住, for the live part, we will cover how to say the city lives, the environment, and how to tell the rooms in the house, and also with the directions, like top, bottom, left, right, on the side, next to, there is something. And the 出行, we will focus on Uber talk, or to focus on how to, by what transportation method from this place to that place. So I will make sure it's elementary, but also I will prepare something for people a little bit high level for that. 谢谢 Colleen also HSK2. Okay. So most people are HSK2. Perfect. Great. So now let's continue with the pronunciation class. And since many people are new here, so I will, in the first place, I will just to review about what we have. I will review what we have covered for the last class. So for Chinese, we have a lot of words, not just by individual pinyin. They always can be a word formed by 2 pinyin or 3 pinyin or 4 pinyin. So for those kind of those words, when we pronounce them, we have to put a stress on the last pinyin with tone mark. So for example, if I have all those 2, 3, 4 pinyin words, and I have the last pinyin with tone, then we have to put the stress on the last pinyin. So for 2 pinyin words, the rule will be light stress, like 啤酒, and cafe. So although maybe they are both are first tone, the second one is higher than the first one. Cafe. And for 3 pinyin words, we follow the rule medium, light, stress. The middle one is super fast. And for the 4 pinyin words, it will be light, stress. Da 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 da, da 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 da. Later, we will give you guys some examples about how to pronounce the 2 pinyin words, 3 pinyin words, 4 pinyin words in each chunk. But the stress part not necessarily means you have to give a high volume of the word, like a coffee. We don't say cafe, no, not crazy high. And you can see that if in a sentence, although some are very high with the stress, but still it within the volume from level 2 to level 4. The pitch is quite stable. There's up and down, there's a stress, but the whole sentence remains at a stable level. So for example, here's a very long sentence. I think, 我觉得 and 我下周一 I in the next week, next Monday. 下周 next week. 一 is number 1. So 下周一 the first day of next week, it's Monday. So I next Monday, I put them in one chunk because that's 2 pieces of details. 我下周一 will with my friend 会 will be 跟 with preposition with someone 会跟朋友 朋 is the last pinyin with tone mark. 有 is neutral tone, so we have no choice but to put the stress on 朋 朋 会跟朋友 to do what? To go to the cinema. 去电影院去电影院院 is the last pinyin in this chunk. So everything else is, since it's a 4 pinyin word, so we make the first 3 very quick. 去电影院去电影院 Go to the cinema to do what? To see one French movie. To see one unit of French movie. 看一个法国电影看一个法国电影 So the overall, the pitch is quite stable, and in each chunk, there's the part we need to put the stress, and the stress is relatively stress. Doesn't mean the high volume. It means that compared to the front ones, it has a little bit more stress, longer length, a little bit higher pitch. So together, in this way, the whole sentence will be 我觉得我下周一会跟朋友去电影院看一个法国电影 Without looking, if you just hear this sentence, you can feel that in this way, the sentence is actually, they are together, right? It's not a break up, and each pinyin is connect to each other. It sounds like a flow with up and down with the stress, right? So one more time 我觉得我下周一会跟朋友去电影院看一个法国电影 So many students think, teacher, why when I pronounce it, it's more sounds like all the pinyin, like break up and one up and down, and I feel they are very many pauses between the words, the pinyin. That because when we are pronounce the sentence, we are a little bit lazy. We don't give the full perfect pronunciation for each individual pinyin. And when we are trying to pronounce the pinyin, when we giving each pinyin inside a chunk, every pinyin is try to help you pronounce the next pinyin. So, for example, let's see the first part. I think, in my opinion, 我觉得, 我觉得. The end of the third tone 我 is the beginning of 觉. As you can see here, the end of 我 is the beginning of 觉. So you don't have to make the gap in between, right? You just naturally finish the 我 and then you go up to the 觉 part. So 我觉得, 我觉得. If you give a perfect sound, it will sound like 我觉得. So there will be gap between 我 and 觉. We don't want to like up and down to do it one more time. We want to be naturally go up. 我觉得, 我觉得. Here in this chunk, also the same. 我下周一, 我下周一. As you can see here, it's a 4-pinyin word. We do the light stress. And the 周 is higher. The pitch is higher than the 我 and the 下. Because we put it here because it's easily for you to accelerate, to go up, to make a perfect E in the end. So it's like a zhou that in the middle to connect the tone 4 and the last tone 1. More like a stairs for you to easily to pronounce the last one. 我下周一, 我下周一, right? 我下周一. And then here, 会跟朋友, 会跟朋友. 跟, this is like a 3-pinyin word because U is neutral tone. So 3-pinyin word, we follow the rule of medium, light, stress. And although tone 1 is always very high volume of your voice, but here tone 1 is in the middle. And tone 1 is better we make it really low because the end of tone 4 is quite in the bottom. So it's better just to naturally, do not rising too much, make it naturally go to the bottom and then naturally rise up to make the tone 2. So this way will be very natural. 会跟朋友, 会跟朋友. It sounds like one chunk very smooth, right? It's better than 会跟朋友. If we give a perfect sound, it's too much trouble up and down. But instead, we just do a natural curve to make them group up together. 会跟朋友, 会跟朋友. Same here, same idea. 去看电影. The 电影 part, we just naturally go down and rise up again. 去看电影, 看一个法国电影. So everything together one more time. 我觉得我下周一会跟朋友去电影院看一个法国电影. Right? So in the future, when you listen to the audio of a dialogue, pay attention to see how, and also try to record your voice and listen to see if you can to group things up and make it more naturally with the flow up and down to find the rhythm behind it. And yesterday I was suggesting that in the beginning, if you have the whole sentence to tell, you can try to divide them to small blocks. Each block you are expressing one meaning or two pieces of details. two information. And then when you are getting comfortable, you make the small blocks to a long block. You can put a pause between each block, but in the end, you have to eliminate all the gaps between the block. Kill the pause between the blocks, and just try to give the stress a little bit more to let the listener to receive your message more efficiently. For example, if you are more comfortable, you can say this sentence, same sentence again. 我觉得我下周一会跟朋友去电影院看一个法国电影。我觉得我下周一会跟朋友去电影院看一个法国电影。非常好，非常好啊。好。And yesterday, let's see the whole sentence in a dialogue. Since many of you already mentioned that you are level, you guys are HSK2. So here I have a dialogue, happen to be HSK2, and we will see how do we to use those rules and the intonation rules in a sentence, in a context. So in the restaurant, when you enter a restaurant, the waiter, 服务员, the waiter will always ask you guys, how many are you, right? How many are you in your group? So how many of you in Chinese is 几位?几位?几 is how many. 位 is the respectful measure word for the guest. So how many guests of you? How many guests in your group? 几位?几位? And 您 is a respectful way to say you. So instead of 你好, the 服务员, the waiter will use the polite form 您好,您好,您好. And altogether, yesterday I mentioned that the stress should be on the intonation should be on the question part, which is in this case will be 几位. 几位 is the part we need to put stress in the whole sentence. And in the 几位 chunk, the 位 is the second pinyin with tone mark, so the stress on the 位. So together will be 你好,几位?你好,几位? So 几位 with stress, within 几位, 位 has more stress. The whole thing fast. 你好,几位?你好,几位? Very good. To answer this one, two people, right? 两位,两位. The 位 last pinyin with tone mark. 两位,两位. Although third tone 两 is quite long, but since here the third tone is in the first place, so we need to make it a very super light, super quick 两位,两位. 非常好. Milena said, muchas gracias. Sus consejos son muy útiles para mí. Gracias a ti. 谢谢,谢谢. 很好. Milena, 多练习, Práctica más y será genial. 很好. 好. And the next one, when you are now it's time to tell the guest, right? Like my two guests, please enter, please take a seat, right? Please enter, please take a seat. So 两位 is two guests, which is not new information at all. In the beginning, the guest said two people. So in the third sentence here, 两位, we don't need to give any stress because they are not new info. And then please enter. Please is 请, 请. Its adverb should be before the verb. And 进 means to enter. And please again, 请, the Q, wide mouth, right? 七, 七, 七. And the ing, the nasal sound. 请, 请. And to sit is 坐, 坐, to sit down. 坐. So 进 and 坐 is the last pinyin with tone mark. So the stress of the whole sentence is on 进 and 坐. So altogether, two people, please enter, please sit. 两位请进，请坐。两位请进，请坐。 非常好啊 very good. And waiter in Chinese is 服务员，服务员啊。It's a three pinyin and 服务by itself means service or to serve. Yuan is the personnel. The personnel who give service is waiter, waitress. And the initial W, U, and the final U is exactly the same. So it sounds like a one pinyin here with up and down. And then naturally goes up to make the stress on yuan, yuan. So altogether, waiter, waitress, 服务员, 服务员, very good, 服务员. Menu, menu is the dish list, the dish, it's 菜, 菜, 菜. A lot of air pump out because of the C, right? The C is the TS, strong air. So the dish, plate of food, 菜, 菜. And then the list is a 单, 单. The list for the dishes, that's the menu. And here 菜 is the first place, so light. 单 is the last pinyin with tone, stress. So stress on 单, together will be 服务员, 菜单, 服务员, 菜单. Very good. Stress on 元 and 单. 服务员, 菜单. And when you are ready to order, again, 服务员, 服务员, and to order, to point the dishes is 点, 点 to point, to order, 点, 点. So point the dishes, will be ready to order. 点菜, 点菜. 非常好啊。菜 with more air pump out. 菜，菜。服务员点菜，服务员点菜。That 点 is super fast, like 哒哒哒哒，点菜点菜，非常好。And now here we need next one is a sentence from waiter, from 服务员服务员 say you too, my honorable guest, 两位 eat a little bit something. So the question is 什么 If the sentence have a question word, the stress will be always on the question, because question is the piece of information you want to get from your listener, right? So the whole sentence, the stress on 什么 and within the box of 什么 mo is a neutral tone. Then the 神 is the part we have more stress, right? So the whole sentence, you two eat a little bit of what? 两位吃点什么？两位吃点什么？ So flight, 神 goes up and m goes down, but m is higher than the front part. 两位吃点什么？两位吃点什么？两位吃点什么 ？Perfect one more time. 两位吃点什么？很好。And to answer this one, very useful word, spoken way. When you point anything, when you do shopping, when you are pointing things, you can say 这个这个。That's a spoken way to say 这个这个 is a formal way on the dictionary for this one this one. But in China, you will hear people next to you say 这个all the time. So that's why I put a more spoken way here. So which you will use more in China. And if something far from you on the other person's table, you can say 那个 that one 那个那个 is the spoken way for 那个that one 那个. So this one 这个 and that one 那个非常好非常好。And since the 个 the unit, it's neutral tone, so we have no choice but to put the stress on J and the 内 So here in this sentence, I want this 2 units of this, and 和 means and and 1 unit of that one. That one looks interesting. So think about the rhythm of the whole sentence. Where to put stress? I already used the red color to show the stress part. How do we say this one? 非常好啊！我要这个、这个、两个这个和一个那个啊。A little bit faster，我要这个、这个、两个这个和一个那个啊。我要这个、这个、两个这个和一个那个。So you can hear the up and down, right? The up and down, and then there's really not a big pause between the pinyin. Try to make it a whole thing more coherent. Very good. Let's continue. Now you choose something to drink. Something you want to drink. 两位喝点什么？两位喝点什么？Marina said, "Is it 这个 or 这个?" Very good question, Marina. 这个 is on dictionary. 这个 is more formal. When you are introduce someone like this is my teacher, never use a J because it's too informal, impolite. And you will say 这是我的老师 This is my teacher. 这是我的老师 But in China, if you do shopping, if you do ordering, you use a 这个 because pointing the object, 这个 is more daily life spoken language. On dictionary, you won't see 这, but because on dictionary it's a 这个, but in daily life, everyone say 这个 when you're pointing at the objects. Same, 那个 is also spoken way, 那个 but on the dictionary is 那个 and the 那是我的老师 that is my teacher, 那是我的老师非常好好back to this one, stress on the question, 两位喝点什么？两位喝点什么？ To answer this one, if when you are comfortable with a chunk with 6 or 7 pin, you only put the stress for the last pin has tone mark, right? Try to make the small chunks together when you are more comfortable. For example, here 我要一杯咖啡，他要一瓶啤酒，还要2杯水。我要一杯咖啡，他要一瓶啤酒，还要2杯水非常好。One more time， 我要一杯咖啡，他要一瓶啤酒，还要2杯水，非常好and one thing I forget to mention, the adverb also is the part we put the stress Other than the coffee and a bottle of beer, I also, in addition, I still need. So this also we need to put the stress 还要2杯水，还要2杯水。So the stress for also need to water is 还要2杯水。Yeah, I think yeah, great. It's not blocked, right? Okay. Let me take a quick look. 好let me see if the connection is good. Okay, great. Everyone can hear me good, right? Seems has connection problem. Okay, maybe not. Let's continue. So is there something would you like to have? It's 还要别的吗？还要别的吗？别的 is other things. And ma is the question for yes or no. Yes or no. So do you want something else? 还要别的吗？还要别的吗？No problem here. 非常好Very good. Perfect. So yesterday we said for the ma question, we should make the intonation higher and make the object lower. So the stress will do a natural curve. 还要别的吗？还要别的吗？ I don't want any more. Nothing more. Will be 不要了，谢谢。不要了，谢谢。So 要 is the last opinion with tone, and 谢 is the last opinion with tone mark. The second 谢 is a neutral tone. So 不要了，谢谢。不要了，谢谢。And when you're ready to get a check, 服务员买单，买单，买 to buy. 单 is a list, right? The bill. So buy the bill, which is check, please. 服务员买单。How much in total? In total, altogether is 一共，一共。And the stress in this sentence, how much? 一共多少钱？多少钱？多少钱 is a part. It's a part with the question. So this one should be higher stress, much more stress. And within 多少钱? 钱 we do the medium light stress. So 钱 is the part more stress among 多少钱 altogether 一共多少钱？一共多少钱？非常好。To answer this one, the money part with the stress, because that's the piece of detail to answer how much is it. So altogether, 54 RMB, 54 yuan, 一共54块，一共54块，非常好一共54块。Let me see if someone's asking anything. Okay, perfect. And now cash or card. 现金还是刷卡？In a sentence, alternative question to choose between A or B, then the options are the part we need to put stress, not 还是. The options are with stress because you have to choose between this one or that one, right? So 现金还是刷卡？现金还是刷卡？现金还是刷卡？ And to answer this one, with the card, please. 刷卡，谢谢。刷卡，谢谢。卡 is the card, right? The card. And the 刷 is swipe, swipe. So 刷卡，刷卡 to swipe the card. 现金 the cash. 好，guys, I will try to read this dialogue again. You can either close your eyes or you can see the context here and to hear the rhythm, where I put up, where I put down, where I put a pause. So, one more time. 你好，几位？两位。两位请进，请坐。服务员，菜单。服务员，点菜。两位吃点什么？我要这个，两个这个和一个那个。非常好Let's continue. 两位喝点什么？我要一杯咖啡，他要一瓶啤酒，还要2杯水。还要别的吗？不要了，谢谢。服务员，买单。一共多少钱？一共54块。现金还是刷卡？刷卡，谢谢。Very good 你们觉得怎么样？How do you feel 很难，不太难 ，very difficult or it's okay don't worry try to build small blocks, small chunks, and when you feel comfortable, put them all together. You will get there. As long as you know the rules, it's easier for you to build up those those sentences pronunciation 非常好。好let's move on to 谢谢。好，谢谢 Carol So let's move on to some difficult chunks that I would like to put a little bit more stress on. So for example, if a chunk with 2 words, 2 pinyin, and if it's tone 1 with tone 2, although tone 1 is very high, but we need to make it lower in order to make the tone 2 more easy to pronounce, right? So for this year, 今年 jin is quite low, short. 年 the length longer. 今年 And the crazy in Chinese is 疯狂 非常好 疯狂 The 疯 is almost sounds like a neutral tone since it's too fast. But still we need to keep the 疯 like a very light tone 1 here. 疯狂 Very good. All the first pinyin is try to make you to highlight the second pinyin, the last pinyin, if it has a tone mark. So one more time. 今年疯狂 Very good. And let's see. This one also a little bit tricky. This one, when tone 1 and tone 3 are together, since tone 3, the original sound is very low, but now tone 3 is the last pinyin with tone mark. We have no choice but to make the tone 3 a little bit higher pitch than its original sound, because the end of tone 1 is a little bit high, and then naturally we start with the tone 3, but not too high. It's quite low in the end, but it's still with a long length. So for example, drink water, 喝水 it's not 喝水 but a little bit higher. 喝水 And for cold water, cold water is cold. 冰 here means ice, right? The ice. But 冰水 not necessarily has ice cubes inside. Could have or could without. So in China, if you order 冰水 maybe just cold water without any ice cubes. In States, if you say 冰水, you may have water with ice cubes. So it depends. But the tone is 冰水非常好好 And let me see if it's okay. Either when I know the words used. Betty 行非常好very good. Somehow my iPad stopped working, so I will check your comments from this place. Very good. Okay, so if it's tone 1 with tone 4, tone 1 is very high, and the tone 4, the beginning of tone 4 is also very high. So we are make the connection more natural here to raise the tone 1 a little bit and make the tone 4 a little bit down. So to find out in Chinese, find out someone, find out secret, find out something interesting, you can say 发现 The tone 4 compared to the other 3 tones are quite short. So here the length is more or less the same. 发现 Very good. To help in Chinese is 帮助 非常好 帮助 But if you have another pinyin in the end, then the 助 the middle one has to be light, right? If I say help him, then the 助 should be lower. 帮助他 So whenever we put a stress, we have to see if it is the last pinyin with tone mark. 帮助他帮助我 帮助我，非常好。But if by help itself, 帮助，帮助。Next one, this one is very easy. Tone 2 and tone 1 just naturally go up, and then you pronounce when you end the tone 2, immediately make the tone 1. It's like a natural connection. Room, room in Chinese, 房间，房间，房间。Time, 时间，时间。间 itself means the space, right? The space for the house. 房间，房间。The space for the time. 时间，时间。非常好。Two is tricky. Two is just one go up, but we don't want to do all the way go down to make another second tone. So instead, we make when tone 2 and tone 2 together, we make a naturally rising here. So often, always, it's 长长，长长，长长。If we do perfect tone, it sounds very weird, like 我长长，我长长。That's not natural. We need to do like this. 我长长，我长长。Great Wall. The Great Wall in China will be 长城，长城。The ch, round the circle of your lip, a lot of air pump out. Ch, ch. Ang, nasal sound, bigger mouth. On. Eng, the nasal sound, but the smaller mouth compared to on. It's still the nasal sound. So together with the ch, a lot of air pump out and follow the rule of the tone. 长城，长城。长城，长城。非常好。你们去过长城吗？去过长城吗？非常好。长城，长城。Very good. 好。And the next one is the part I would like to put the stress since tone 2 and tone 3 together. It can be tone 2, tone 3, and also when two third tone together. Although on dictionary it's tone 3, tone 3, but in real life when we pronounce, we also follow the same chart here. So for tone 2, tone 3, or two third tone together, we will follow this chart. So for example, tomorrow night, 明晚，明晚。So the 明 goes up, and then immediately you start the connect with the tone 3. 明晚，明晚。淘宝，淘宝, the Chinese eBay. 淘宝，淘宝。Very good. Annie said, why is the Chang from often pronounced as the Chang in Great Wall, but it's another figure for the word? Sorry. Why is the Chang from often pronounced as the Chang in Great Wall, but it's not figure? Sorry, I'm not very understand the question well. 长城 it's written differently. 长长, the first one is often. 长长，长长. You mean the character? The sign used for 长. Yes. You are talking about the traditional character. Yes. The traditional character which are still used in Taiwan and in Hong Kong and Macau. You can see the traditional characters more. But nowadays in mainland China, it's all we use the simplified character. So the simplified character looks like this. 长，长. Very good, very good. It's different, very good, different. 很好。好。Now let's continue with the two third tone together. So to take a shower. Although 洗 is third tone, in order to make it sound more natural, we only keep the rising part, and then 早 keep the third tone. So 洗澡,洗澡,洗澡. The rats, the mouse in Chinese is 老鼠,老鼠. 老. Instead of 老鼠, we do it quick, right? 老鼠,老鼠 sounds more natural, more easy to in a context. 老鼠,老鼠. And if it's a tone, three third tone together, sometimes when people say me, teacher, if two third tone is we change to tone 2 and tone 3. What about three third tone together? How should we do? If it's three third tone together, we have two scenarios, two different conditions. We have to see if we can the whole thing, all three third tones together, has one meaning, or you can further divide it to two meanings. Here, if we ask someone to take a shower, as a command, will be then it's one concept. 洗澡. If 洗澡 is one concept, then we just do 2 to 3 to make it sound more quick to convey this message, this piece of detail. So it will be again we follow the rule medium light stress, change it to 2 to 3. 洗洗澡, 洗洗澡, very good. 洗洗澡. Also here, I very good. 我很好. 我很好. You never hear someone say that in real life, right? And together, it's the answer for how are you, right? So this one, since all together, it has a complete picture, complete meaning. So you just also change it to 2 to 3. Sounds more natural, more fluent. 我很好,我很好. Very good. 我很好. Very good. 我很好. That's it. Annie said, I only know kanji. Kanji, I think, is the English way to say the Chinese characters. The Chinese characters in Chinese is 汉字. 汉字. Han is the ethnic Chinese group, which occupy 96% of the total population. So I'm also a Han, and zi is a character. So Hanzi is a Chinese character. I think for English speaker, it's difficult to translate in this one. So most people say kanji, but in real life, it's Hanzi. Very good. Continue. So I said there are two scenarios for the three third tone together. But here, let's see if I further take a look of this three third tone. 老鼠 is the rat, the mouse, right? 老鼠. And Mickey Mouse from the Disneyland, Disney World. The name of Mickey in Chinese is me. So that's actually have a difference because it's the Mickey Mouse. That's two concept. And here we can keep the original third tone here and only change the lao to second tone. Because 老鼠 is 2 and 3, we can switch it. And the me, the end of me, you can naturally do the curve to connect the tone 2 in the middle. So Mickey Mouse in Chinese is 米老鼠. Sounds like a tone 4 and quickly tone 2, just two curves together. 米老鼠. Very good. 秀玲 says, 秀玲你好，秀玲。长和长的发音，但是不一样的字。长和长长长，长城。Yes, it's the same 长 秀玲, that's the same 长, but one in the first place, one in the second place, right? 长长, 长长, and the other one 长城, 长城. In the first place is quite light, so not as stressed as the other 长啊，非常好。好 so the Mickey Mouse 米老鼠 small mouse small mouse will be 小老鼠 so try to not to say 小老鼠 no but it's the two curves, right? 小老鼠 like a roller coaster here down up 小老鼠 very good But let's change another way. The third situation. Now, if you say the 老鼠, the rats in the beginning, and then you are giving a adjective to describe the rats, and then the 老 again we change to second tone, 老鼠, and then we have a new detail, new piece of information. Now this one we need to keep the original tone mark here, but the middle one we give a very very tiny third tone here because that's part of the first word, which is the rat mouse. So this 鼠 is super fast light third tone 鼠 老鼠小 almost sounds like a neutral tone 老鼠小 The rats is small, right? And if you say the rats is good, as a joke, 老鼠好 or so here the 好 is the last pinyin with tone mark with stress. 老鼠好 very good. 好 and that will be 3 third tone together. And another thing I would like to stress is this one, the tone 2, tone 3, tone 2. Also, the tone 3 has to be in the middle. So the super fast tone 3 here. The swimming pool, 游泳池 So this 泳 in the end is the beginning of the last tone 2. 游泳池 and tank to the pool to wash your hand. The place to wash your hand is 洗手池 very good 洗手池好so guys that's the pronunciation class for today. So after you know how to pronounce those little chunks, you can try to divide your long sentence to those chunks, and slowly you combine them to a long sentence and to pronounce them more naturally. And for the next week, as I mentioned, we are going to talk about the 4 topics, 衣食住行 So I haven't know the schedule yet, but feel free to add my WeChat and add my WhatsApp, and that I will tell once I know from italki the schedule, and I will send you a message immediately in the group. And also you guys feel free to check the italki calendar. Once it's updated, you will see the exactly slot for the coming week. So free live classes for the coming week too, from Monday to Friday. There also be other languages free classes on italki. So guys, feel free to join the language class you prefer. And if you want to get the schedule and the topic at the first time, please add my WeChat group and the WhatsApp group. I will let you guys know immediately when I know the schedule. And thank you again for being such good student. 谢谢你们，你们都是非常棒的学生我希望你们今天学习到很多，然后我也希望下个星期和你们再见 谢谢大家我们下次见，再见。See you guys next week. Bye bye.
Conectamos personas de forma colaborativa y gratuita en nuestra aplicación. Únete a nuestra comunidad, haz nuevos amigos y mejora en todos los idiomas que quieras. Descarga Lingvi y practiquemos juntos.
Este es Peter. Está aprendiendo chino. Ha intentado estudiar por su cuenta con libros, tarjetas de vocabulario y aplicaciones móviles, pero sigue teniendo problemas para hablar. Esta es María. Le encanta aprender inglés, pero no tiene oportunidades para ponerlo en práctica. Con italki, Peter y María pueden recibir clases personales online para hablar con fluidez en otro idioma. Tú también puedes aprender un idioma en italki. Empieza hoy en 3 simples pasos. Primero, elige un idioma. Inglés, alemán, chino, francés, japonés. Italki tiene profesores para cualquier idioma. Segundo, escoge un profesor. Con italki puedes escoger entre miles de profesores con experiencia de todo el mundo. Tercero, elige el horario de tu lección. Las clases de idiomas online son el mejor método para aprender con profesores nativos. Con italki tendrás un profesor de idiomas personal y conversaciones reales con hablantes nativos. Cada día miles de personas aprenden con profesores internacionales a través de italki. Encuentra un profesor hoy y domina el idioma de tu lección.
Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com. And today we will be talking about 3 grammar rules to follow when you start learning Spanish. The first one is that, as you have already heard, Spanish verbs are always conjugated. That means that they have to match with the subject of the sentence. For example, there are different pronouns in Spanish. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, and ellos, ellas, y usted. All these pronouns have their own conjugations, and it's very common for beginners to mix them up. So remember this. When you start to conjugate the verbs, they have to match. The second rule is very important as well. The Spanish nouns and adjectives has to be in the same level. Let me explain you this. If you have a noun that is feminine and plural, for example, las mujeres, the adjective that you have to use right after the noun has to be feminine and plural as well. For example, las mujeres españolas. It is the same with the articles las, female and plural. We use this article because, as I say, it's female and plural. The third rule I already mentioned before, and be careful, English speakers, because the adjectives in Spanish go after the noun, not before like in English. This is very common for students that learn Spanish and already speak or know English. When I say it, las mujeres españolas, españolas is the adjective, and I put it after las mujeres. In English, it would be a Spanish woman, but not in Spanish. Okay, there are some occasions where the adjectives go before the nouns. That is true, but normally this use comes out at intermediate level or advanced level, so do not worry when you are a beginner. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel over here. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego! Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com, and today I will be talking about 7 Spanish words that are similar to their English counterpart. These words are also known as cognates. What a cognate is? A cognate is a word that has the same linguistic derivation that another word, and it looks similar, and when you pronounce it, it sounds almost the same. And here I will give you 7 cognates so you can use them in Spanish as well. The first one is alcohol in Spanish. Guess you know what it means because it sounds pretty similar than in English, doesn't it? Number 2 is conclusión. This one has a different pronunciation in Spanish, but you will understand definitely when you start learning Spanish. Number 3, hobby. This one is completely similar. We basically took this word from English. Number 4, individual. Of course, it's the same word, just different pronunciation. The next one, number 5, is piercing. Yes, we use this word with the same pronunciation and meaning. Next one, number 6, is informal. I like to use this one in my lessons to explain ways to greet and say goodbye because it's similar in English and is a word that the students understand very quickly. And the last are some words related to sports. If you're learning Spanish and you like sports, you're lucky because most of the words are cognates like football, tennis, baseball, volleyball, hockey, water polo, golf, surf, and so on. As you can see, almost all sports are cognates. So, talking about your hobbies should not be difficult. As you can see, there are many, and I would like to remember you that there are hundreds of cognates, and if you check them, you can be ready to your first Spanish lesson. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel for more tips on learning Spanish. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego!
Hi everyone, it's Caroline here and I teach English on italki. Today I am going to be talking about business idioms or idioms you might hear in your office or in your workplace. A student asked me a really good question the other day. He asked me whether, because I'm a native English speaker, do I know every single idiom? And the answer is no. Idioms are phrases or expressions that come from a particular place or a particular age group. So idioms are different in the UK to idioms in the United States. I have chosen 5 business idioms to talk to you about today, and you may hear them in an office in the UK or in the States. So hopefully they will be super useful for you. Idiom number 1 is the big picture. Imagine you go into a meeting and your boss says to you, you've lost sight of the big picture. What does that mean? That means that you are thinking too much about the small details of the project and you are so interested in those little details that you don't remember what it is you're trying to achieve. So always keep sight of the big picture. The second idiom is to go the extra mile. Now imagine you're in an interview and the interviewer says to you that they are looking for someone who always goes the extra mile. What does that mean? Does it mean they want you to run around the office every day? No, it means they want you to do more than just what is in the job description. They want you to go that little bit further and to take on extra responsibilities. That is going the extra mile. The third idiom is a win-win situation. A win-win situation means everybody gains something. A really good example of this is these videos that I'm making for italki. italki gains some content for their website, some lessons for their learners, and I have a platform where students can see me and book lessons with me. It's a win-win. Italki wins and Caroline wins. The fourth idiom is word of mouth. So an example of this is, think about how you found out about italki. Did you find italki by searching on Google, or did you find italki because one of your friends recommended it to you? Recommendations from friends are word of mouth. It can be positive or it can be negative. If your company gets bad word of mouth, it is going to be a very difficult time for your company because people really listen to the opinions of their friends. So make sure whatever you do, you have good word of mouth about it. The fifth and final business idiom is to touch base. My manager used to say this to me a lot. To touch base means to have a very quick and short meeting about a project or something that you are working on. It might only be 5 minutes of your time, but in that time, you will check that your understanding of the project is the same as your manager's understanding of the project. So I have a challenge for you. In your next lesson, I want you to ask your teacher if you can touch base about what you have learned in your lessons so far. This could be 5 minutes at the end of the lesson where you review all of the different subjects that you have been studying. You're touching base about the things you have covered so far. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to italki by clicking somewhere. And you can take a lesson with me by clicking on my teacher profile in the description box. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Welcome back to the Stop Being Boring When Speaking English video series. When speaking to native English speakers, it's useful to use a variety of vocabulary to make your conversation sound more interesting and flow. Why not spice up your language a little bit and impress others with your speaking abilities? In this next video, we will take a look at some American and British slang.
Number 1, American. John Hancock.
John Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a person,
It's a name of a person, yes.
and it's American slang.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it means?
I just got John Hancock. Does it mean like wasted?
Certainly not.
Give me an example.
Okay, so can I please have your John Hancock at the bottom of this paper? Come on, you gotta get it now.
Is it your signature?
Yes, you got it! That was easy.
Okay, awesome. Number 1, British. Peak. What does peak mean?
Like, taking a peek.
No, that's
Sorry, that's not taking a peek.
That's not slang.
This is taking a peek.
But that's just like taking a peek. That's not slang.
Oh,
Like in a slang context.
peak. Like the peak of a mountain? That's not slang. That's actually
Yeah, that is the peak of a mountain.
I don't know. Tell me.
Okay, let me give you an example. So say you go out one night and you lose your purse, your keys.
Is it like the most horrible situation you can be in?
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, that's so peak. You'd be like, oh, yeah. How was your night? It was so peak.
I just got fired. That's so peak.
Exactly. So it's like the peak of badness, I guess.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the peak.
2, American. Jacked.
Jacked. Does that mean like hench?
What does hench mean?
Like say you go to the gym.
Don't answer back with a slang word.
So the British equivalent of jacked would be hench, I think. So if someone's like really ripped.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So hench.
Go to the gym, work out a
Yeah,
lot.
like, whoa, look at him. He's so jacked.
We would say hench. Number 2, British. Peng. Peng.
Peng.
Peng. P-E-N-G. Peng.
Like someone being panged on the head with something? Or
I'm
just thinking of bang and pang. It's similar, I don't know.
I guess it's a little similar. No.
Give me an example.
Okay, so for example, say you're eating a cake, it's delicious, you can say, oh, this is peng.
Does it just mean delicious?
You could use it in other contexts as
Does it
well.
mean like it hits the spot? You know?
Yeah, but I could also say that your eyes are peng, or a person is peng.
Just mean like extraordinarily awesome?
Basically,
Oh,
if you're talking about a person, you might even say peng ting.
Painting.
Like he's a painting.
Okay.
This is mostly
So
London.
he's like a 10.
Yeah, exactly.
So like the top of top.
Yeah, basically.
Number 3, American. I blew it.
I blew it.
I blew it.
What a nightmare. I blew it.
Yeah.
So that means that you've completely ruined the situation.
Yeah. Say like I didn't make it into school. It's not my
Hello, hi. It's good to see you this morning. Welcome to our stress management course this morning. I am Karen and good. I am going to be talking about engaging with stress. Let me know if you are with me on the chat. Let me know if you are listening. I come from Johannesburg, South Africa. South Africa is a country, not a geographical region. And we are enjoying lovely sunshine with freezing weather. Okay, that's normal for Johannesburg. So it was 8 degrees centigrade this morning. So we're rather cold, but it's warming up, and normally by midday, well, very often by midday, we can wear t-shirts, not always. So, but tell me now, are you with me? Are you engaging with me? Are you going to be telling me about your stress levels now and how we can overcome our stress? Let's discuss that today. I am feeling very happy this morning because I managed to get into the garden to do some weeding, into the sunshine, and it rained last night, which is very unusual in our autumn. And yeah, so everything's wet, but at least I got the weeds out, and I managed to go to the roses and get the black spot off. So cut it all off and put it in a little plastic bag, and I replanted some stuff. So yes, I'm enjoying myself right now. I don't see any comments yet, so I'm still going to wait. Please comment via live comments. Carol, hi. Hi from Northern Italy, Northeast Italy. I know already. Remember, I've been doing this for a little while. And let me know if you're with me, and yeah, say something about your stress levels. How stressed are you feeling right now? I know that sometimes the italki page takes a long time to come through, but please just write comments there. I will keep on looking. If I look down, it's to look at the italki page, okay? And then I look at the comments, but they take a little bit of time to come through because you hear me maybe 30 to 40 to 60 seconds after I speak, and then you've still got to write, and then I see your comments after that, so it can take some time. I would like to go to our worksheet, and I'm going to keep it like that because I'm going to be writing a lot today. Okay, so, all right. First of all, we're going to go through some idioms to do with stress. But first of all, I'd like to ask you what you think stress is. What is stress? We are going to pretend today that you are presenting to your colleagues something about stress management. I'm sure I can learn from you, and you can learn from me. I am not the only teacher here. Mine is the English side. I'm sure many of you have a lot of experience which you can share too. Okay, I'm still looking for more comments, but I'm going to go to the stress management thing. And what is stress? What is stress? Let's talk about that. Okay, what do you define as stress? It's about the feeling of tension. Okay, that's one thing. Okay. Any other that you get when you are under pressure or when you face a crisis? Okay. All right. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay. Yeah, I just see, yeah, Nacho Fernandez, I just see the YouTube comments at the moment. Stress can be positive and negative. Yes. Usually it is negative for me. Tidiness, is that what you meant to say? Tidiness. I'm just going to look here. So it can be positive, like when you go on a holiday. Okay, and you're packing, you're under pressure to be, it can also be negative. Okay, yeah, and then there are body, or for those of you, physiological responses. Okay, so Danielle, it's something you feel when you are extremely focused and you feel anxious. That's right. So yes, we can very easily become angry and less tidy, more negative about life. We put on different lenses. So, Benfang, I think you know, that's another comment. I am just looking at the moment at the YouTube comments. Good. It's very good to see you. Those of you who have joined, please help us discuss. We are going to look for idioms, expressions, terminology, English terminology, but also just enjoy ourselves and really benefit from this today. Thank you. So the body responses, actually you get all sorts of hormones and responses. So your adrenaline goes up, and that can help you to respond faster. However, if it's too long, it can actually start destroying your immune system. You start feeling tired. Your nervous system starts being affected, because your nervous system and your immune system are connected. Okay, that's just for those of you who know that. I'll just write here at the top, immune system, and what's the other one? Nervous system. Okay, so all right, that's in your body. I'll just write it at the top because I didn't have space at the bottom. The immune system is the system in your body that fights diseases, and the nervous system is very connected to the immune system. So you then start getting muscle aches and tiredness and weakness, etc. Okay. Good. So it's also the adrenaline causes you to be a little more angry. That's a normal brain response to adrenaline. And if it's sustained, then you can get heart problems and all sorts of other inner organ problems. So if we don't manage it well, we are in trouble. Okay. So now we come to some lovely idioms. Okay. So sometimes when we are feeling very stressed, we say, I have too much on my plate, or you have a lot on your plate is what you would say to somebody else. Too much or a lot on your plate. In other words, your eating plate. It just means that you cannot take on any more activity. Tell me, when are the times that you feel stressed? So is it at work, at home, maybe in relationships, wherever, on holiday, you might, who knows, when you're with your friends. Tell me the times that you mostly feel stressed. For me, it's when I'm a relational issue. I don't feel stressed at work because I have learned to control things so that I don't feel too stressed. But it's when relationships go awry that I feel stressed. And that's the only time I feel stressed. Otherwise, I just don't. But let me know, no comments on the italki app yet. Let me know when you feel stressed. It's really good to have a discussion. Okay, then these are all related. So if somebody gets on someone's nerves or something gets on someone's nerves, it means they're at the point where they're just going to explode. It gets on someone's nerves. It really stresses them out. Something or someone is stressing them out. Okay, so that's another phrase which we'll come to. Get on somebody's nerves. It's like if I say, the dog's barking is getting on my nerves. I am becoming irritated by the dog's barking. Okay, that makes me want to snap someone's head off, okay? The boss snapped my head off today because he was very, very stressed. In other words, he just got angry, all right? Now it's a little bit different. I eventually snapped. So all this stress was building up, and then I snapped. I couldn't take it anymore. I just had to go home. I got cross. I burst out crying, something like that. That is stress. Okay. Then we sometimes also say, okay, here we go. Right. Okay, shame. I feel stressed now because I can't go out my home because of the coronavirus. Absolutely. Elisa? Yeah, I do agree. That is very stressful for many people. And we can do something about it to help ourselves. But it is a very big and sudden change. And it's not something we can control. There are things we can control about it, but in itself, it's not something we can control. So we feel stressed. Yeah, Danielle and Elisa. Danielle, where are you from? And Elisa, where are you from? So speaking English, yes, can be speaking another language can be incredibly stressful. That's why we're here to help you and to make it easier. So Danielle and Elisa, do let me know where you are from. I see Ben Fang, but he's writing in another language. I see 2 comments now. Okay, so from Madrid and Barcelona. I know in South America they say Barcelona, and that's the Spanish I learned. But Barcelona, I think, is how you say it, but I can't lisp. It's very difficult for me. Sorry. All right. So let's go to the next one. I've had it up to here. It means I am overflowing with too much negative, stressful stuff, or sometimes up to here. It depends on how deep. Sometimes you can say, I've had it up to here. You've had too much of this negative stuff and you cannot manage it anymore. It is too much. If I've had it up to here. Right. Okay, so that, but it doesn't mean slice your head off. It just means I've had it up to here. That it just means you've had enough. Enough. It's no more. You don't want to take any more. That's enough. Okay. You can also say, the dog is barking. He's driving me crazy. Okay, you're blaming the dog for your anger and your stress. All right. He drives me crazy. Okay, all right. Okay, and then sometimes you'll say, if there's too much coming in, you'll say, oh, my head's about to explode. You can imagine you just had too much, you've got a headache. Yeah, Elisa, I see that also on the italki page. Now, somehow the italki page is very, very slow. It's about 15 minutes slow. So, yeah, I will try and look there as well. Okay. So let's go and look for some things. Have you ever experienced a situation where you feel, okay, the coronavirus, but has anyone driven you crazy? Do let us know in the comments. Okay. In the meantime, I am going to swap slides. Okay. If you see someone sitting like this and thinking and puzzling and frowning, then you can say, you seem to have a lot on your mind. In other words, it's like a suitcase that you're carrying in your mind, a heavy suitcase. All right. Also, you can say, I've had it up to here. I can't take it anymore. All right. Same kind of thing. It's enough. No more. I can't take it anymore. Yes, Elisa says in YouTube you hear best. Carol says, I felt stressed at my last work because my ex-boss drives me crazy with auto commands and emails and reproaches, and I had it up to here. Fantastic. I love that, Carol. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I think it's easier to interact via YouTube because your comments come in only 2 minutes or 3 minutes later, whereas on the italki page it's about 15 minutes later, from what I can work out. So do try and use the YouTube page if you can, and then comment on live comments, not top chat, live chat or live comments. Okay. All right. So, okay. Yeah, that was a fantastic one. Okay. So you can also say, if you can't take it anymore, you can't stand it. Or it's a little bit different. You can't take it anymore. Is it just too much? But you can't stand it is you really don't like what's happening. I can't stand that person. They are awful. Okay, I can't stand my ex-boss. I can't stand the load of work that we've got to. I don't like it. I don't want to like it. I don't want to even think. I want to try and like it. Okay. I hope you've got that one. All right. And then your boss is normally calm and collected and wonderful, but then he suddenly snaps and you say, oh, but he's not feeling himself. Okay, he's not feeling himself. He's not being himself is what we're saying. He's not being the normal, calm, lovely person he is. He's he's not feeling himself. Okay, that's what we mean. So when we talk about how stressed we feel, we say, I'm feeling stressed out. Okay, or I'm just feeling stressed. Sorry, that must go here. All right. Okay, I'm really feeling stressed out, or I'm feeling stressed. Okay, either of the two are fine. And then if somebody is obviously displaying signs of stress, you can say to them, hi, you really are wound up about this, aren't you? In other words, you are stressed. Wind up, okay, it's like when you wind up a toy. You know those toys that you used to wind up and then they release them and they start playing, or it's a cog mechanism. That's too many English words. So you can say somebody is feeling wound up. They are tightly sprung and they're about to go. Okay, so they wound up. Notice that wound, the sore that you get if you cut yourself or something. That is called a wound, and that is spelt the same as wound. So do look for the context in order to understand the word. Okay. All right. Now we are going to go on to the next idiom. Let me check this. Okay. All right. I can't see. Okay. Oh, that seems to be the one that I did. Okay. So when I'm going to look for any more questions, please ask questions if you do not understand, and make comments. After this, I will be writing, so it will go slower, but I need your participation, your input, because I feel that is the best way. Okay. So if there is a lot of stress, we say we are under a lot of pressure. When you press down on something, that's pressure. Okay. The pressure, the measurement of the force down. I am under a lot of pressure. So you can see it's figurative pressure, not literal. Okay. Or if you have a lot of work, we are snowed under. In other words, there's a lot of snow on top of us. There is so much work. It's like snow that has come and it's actually piled up. We are snowed under. All right. Otherwise, we can say we are up to our ears in work. Lots of work. So you can see we have many expressions to talk about too much work. Okay. The other way we say it is we are overworked. We are overworked. Okay. Or we are doing overtime, working overtime. Instead of 8 hours a day, I am doing 10 hours a day. So that's overtime, all right? So we're doing overtime, and that often leads to stress, okay? Then when you have finished these long, long days where you are completely snowed under and you go home to wind down, to start relaxing, okay? So you just wind down, or you go on a holiday to wind down, okay? So that you're not so tensely sprung, not so tensely held, you become less stressed. Then at the end of the holiday, you can say, I have de-stressed, or I am now calm. I have de-stressed, or I am now calm. Okay. All right, they're just 2 more slides, 1.25. Okay, then I just want to see if there are any comments. Okay. Okay, so Carol says, I have a friend who's having a love affair problem, and this is driving her crazy because she can't take it. She can't take it. Okay. She is stressed, and she is stressing me out with her phone calls too. She's very stressed, and she's stressing me out with her phone calls too. Well done. Please do what Carol is doing. Tell me about a stressful situation using some of these phrases. I hope you have written them down. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to write about a stressful situation, other than even maybe something about the coronavirus. Yes, you have said that you can't go out, so you feel stressed. What are other ways you feel stressed? And please use the words. Maybe you want to say how you wind down, or whether you are feeling very wound up at the moment. Okay. Do let me know, like Carol is doing. Practice the idioms now. Let us do that together. Okay. Practice, write some sentences with these idioms and expressions. Not all of them are idioms. There are expressions, just expressions that we say. Reproaches, R-E-P-R-O-A-C-H-E-S. Okay, that's how we spell it. Very well done. Just so that you know. I'm just waiting for your response, and I'm going to look on italki to see if there are any people there. Nothing. Okay, not yet. All right. Okay, all right. So now you reach your limit. Okay, you reach your limit. In other words, I've had it up to my ears. I've had it up to here. I cannot take any more. You reach your limit. All right. And then blow off steam. Blow off steam. I've got to go out for a run and blow off steam. It's like there's a furnace inside you, and steam, and you're boiling water, and the steam is coming out your ears, kind of thing. So you need to blow off steam before your head explodes. Okay. All right. Blow off steam. Okay. And then if you excuse me, if you're taking a holiday, you're taking a breather. In other words, something that's going to enable you to breathe properly again. When we manage our stress, we take stock of what's important. In other words, we look at what is important in our lives. When we are still very stressed, maybe we are coming apart at the seams. Okay, seams are like these lines in the clothes, okay, where it has been sewn. And if it comes apart, it is falling, it is completely falling to pieces. It is disintegrating. It is breaking, all right? So I have come apart at the seams. I am not managing. I am in breakdown. I am in mental distress mode. I cannot cope. I cannot cope. I cannot manage. I cannot do this. I am not doing well. Okay. The next one, I'm just looking for any more. Danielle says studying English winds me down. Okay, that's good. So you start relaxing, and I can drive my mind, control my mind, I think is what you mean. I can control my mind in this particular situation. So studying English helps me to wind down. So helps me to wind down. Good. That's really interesting, because you also said that studying English is stressful. It winds you up. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. Thank you for your participation. I love it. Okay. The next one is to put your feet up. Same as take a breather. To put your feet up means you are relaxing. Basically, I'm going to put my feet up. And it doesn't mean that you're literally going to put your feet up in the air. You might just put them, because feet are the symbolism of how tired you are. So if you put your feet up, you are resting them. So you are just watching television or doing something easy or relaxing, maybe taking a nice long bath, maybe reading or pottering around, doing a little of everything. Okay. I'm still, Sergio, Nacho, I see your comment. And Sergio, hello, it's good to see you. If you want to comment, do pop over to the YouTube channel and go to live chat or live comments, because the italki platform is so slow. Sergio, where are you from? I'd love to know. Just let me know. And yeah, thanks for moving over to the italki platform, Nacho, because it does help. Do write some sentences. I like talking to people. I don't like talking to myself. It's horrible. Okay, I'm going to just finish the slide, then I will look for your comments. All right. However, if you are very stressed and you just can't take it anymore, then sometimes, like an ostrich, we bury our head in the sand so that we cannot see what is going on around us. We don't want to see. We are not interested because we cannot manage. anymore. To be frazzled means to be stressed, okay? Frazzled, just imagine your hair coming out and looking frazzled, all right? Looking messy, frazzled. So I'm feeling really frazzled today. I don't want to snap at you. So I'd better go and put my feet up before I completely break down or come apart at the seams. Okay, there you go. Wound up. Okay. So Carol wants some more examples with wound up. So there is to wind up is a little bit different. To wind somebody up means to tease them, but I'm feeling wound up, okay, means I'm feeling stressed. My boss was very wound up today. He kept on snapping at people, and it was very unpleasant. I'm feeling very wound up at the moment because of the coronavirus. I'm not, but I'm just using an example. I'm feeling very wound up and worried because of the coronavirus, and now I need to go and wind down. Okay, so wound up, wind down, wound up and wind down. Okay, so wound up is like very, very, very tense. You like pulling on this. There's a string here, and it's around a little barrel, and you turning the barrel, and the string's getting tighter and tighter. That's what it feels like. That's the feeling of wound up. Then wind down is about that, but less fast. It's slow. Okay, so it's the opposite. Wound up and wind down are the opposites. Okay, let's see if there are any more examples. Okay, let's go to the last idiom or expression. Okay, I'm at my wits' end. I don't know what to do. In other words, I'm just going to turn that on. That's better. You can probably see me better. I'm so tense because I don't know what to do. This situation is too stressful for me. I cannot think of anything else to do to give a solution. I'm at my wits' end. All right, and it means exactly the same to be at the end of my rope. No, not exactly. So I'm at the end of my rope. In other words, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I'm at my wits' end is more about you're very stressed and you don't know what to do. You can't solve the problem. To be at the end of your rope, you also can't solve the problem, but it's more about that you just feel you have nothing more left inside you to cope. Okay, all right. Now, this is where I want you to participate. I'm going to leave that slide because I'm going to go on to something else, all right? So I'm going to go on to time and task management. The first thing about stress management is time and task management, because that's the first thing we need to do to help us cope with stress. So let's just discuss this very briefly. How does that help? How can we, yes, how can we, no more comments from italki. How can we manage our time? How can we manage the things we need to do? Task management is things we need to do. Okay. Why don't you write it in the comments? I might write something in the meantime, but I'd love to have your input because I don't like talking that much. I like hearing from other people as well. Okay. So, okay. So we might write up. Okay. Good. Carol is writing here and she says she's using all these words. Okay. Good. Sergio says, and I'm going to come back to Carol, but I want to, Sergio, I'm coming to you in a moment. Okay. So Carol says she can't stand impolite and rude people, especially when they try to show their superior position or what they think is their superior position. They get on my nerves. They get on my nerves. And after a conversation with them, I want to take a breather. Thank you, Carol. That is fantastic. Okay. Danielle and Elena and Sergio and Nacho, can you also write to me? I will give you time to think. All right. So let us now talk about time and task management. All right. So I'm just going to make this slightly bigger because I can see on my phone it's not very big. So let's do that. Okay. Write up a list of things to do. That's one of the first things we need to do. Okay, good. All right. So, Sergio, you also said the physiological. Yes, sometimes stress can cause a physiological reaction for a long time. And when that happens, it damages our bodies. Okay, negative stress. Okay. All right. Okay. So we will come to the yoga and the great, Sergio, you've gone to the the YouTube page. That's easier. Well done. Okay. We will come to yoga and meditation and exercise. But let's just talk about time management and task management. So here we've got write up a list of things to do. Then Elisa says organizing and prioritizing tasks over time is important for you if you are not to feel frazzled. Okay, that's good. Absolutely. Okay, so prioritize your tasks. Say which is important, which is more important, which is less important. Okay. Okay, then organize your, I never know this. No. Organize your time. There you go. Organize your time. 8 o'clock, I'm doing this. 9 o'clock, I'm doing that. Okay. For me, as a person who doesn't operate like that, it helps a little bit. Okay. It helps me to know what to do and what I can do when, but I never stick to it. I write it down and then I never stick to it. But it still helps me to do that. It also helps me to remove from my timetable the things that are not absolutely essential at that time. So maybe instead of going to the gym, I'll exercise at home, less time. Or maybe there's a task at work that's not that important, I will leave it out. or if there's something at home, often the cleaning, it gets left out just for the moment. I can't manage it. I don't do it. I leave it out so that I can bring my stress levels down. Okay. I don't know about you. Okay. Right. And then, yeah, so obviously that helps you to make your time well used. And also I will even cut out watching television or watching YouTube or whatever. I try to keep that down so that I can focus on other things. But if I am too tired, sometimes I will just watch something because I just cannot focus on anything else. Okay, so I have learned to do this because I have chronic fatigue. In other words, at some stage in my life, I was too stressed and that affected my body. It's permanent, and my body now gets easily tired and ill. So I have learned to cut things out of my life in order to cope so that my energy is only used for the positive things, not negative things like watching television. Okay. So, all right. Let's go on the next one. I think we can now talk about something else. All right. So I'm going to talk about solitude and silence. Okay. Solitude is being alone. Okay. Yes, Elisa says try to allocate a specific time for each task. You know what? I'm going to go back to that. Okay. I'm going to write that. Allocate a specific sorry. Okay. Oh, interesting. Allocate a specific amount of time for each task to be completed. Okay. All right, that's the best way of phrasing that. Allocate. And allocate means to give. To dedicate means more something that you are doing by yourself. You are giving of yourself, but allocating means you are setting aside that time for a task. Okay. To dedicate is a little different. Okay. Then and you would dedicate your time to doing that in that amount of time, but you first allocate. You first say, I'm going to set aside this time now, and then you would dedicate your time to finishing the task in that time. Okay. All right, so we've got a lot of suggestions. I'm just looking for more suggestions. Okay, now we will go back to the solitude and silence. This is what people used to do long ago, is to go away alone. And in a sense, we are doing that in this coronavirus time. We're being alone with our own thoughts. Most often we're with somebody else, but in a sense we are a little bit alone, and there is more quietness around, and you don't talk too much. That's what they did to just calm down, to just get away from things. So I'm just talking about this. I don't have anything to write unless you do. Has anyone gone away for a silent retreat or something like that, a holiday in a quiet place on your own, just to hear the sounds of nature, just to think about life, just to meditate, things like that. Have you ever done that, or do you think that's strange? Remember, in the old days, they used to do that. Some people used to do that for life, and I don't know if I would ever want to shut myself away. But I have found that solitude and silence actually helps to break the cycle of lots of things happening. And it's really, really can be very, very good and helpful. Okay. Has anybody, I'm just looking at the time, good. Has anybody ever heard of the term mindfulness? I'm looking for the italki platform, that's why I'm doing this. Okay, has anybody heard of the term mindfulness? Mindfulness is, so when we're stressed, we tend to think about that, even those terrible, stressful things, even when we're at home and we're not in the presence of the person. So mindfulness is just being aware of your own feelings. It's being aware of the things around you. And it's actively concentrating on things around you. Yes, okay, Sergio and Elisa, yes, you've heard of it. Would you like to write a little description for me? Would you like to try? That would be wonderful. Okay, so just being aware of the things around you and being focused on those things and not the things at work. Trying to focus on the good things as well. So looking at little things like, there's sunshine today. I was able to take weeds out the garden, and that feels good. I've done something constructive. Yeah, here we go. Now, Carol is commenting on solitude and silence. And she says, I went away to the mountains to be surrounded by nature. And it was a time of solitude. But also to be alone in your bedroom or garden can help one or you to take a breather. Okay, well done. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Even the most extroverted people needs to be alone sometimes. It's very important. That's how we are made. Just to think and to process things that have happened during the day. Sometimes we process by talking to somebody else, but other times we process by just being alone, telling ourselves to calm down, telling ourselves to focus on the positive, the good things. I heard one story of a man who was in some concentration camp, and all he did was focus on the light, because he saw that as a positive stream, the light from the light bulb in the room, because he saw that he was focused on that so much so that he didn't feel the concentration camp experience. And so we can train our minds to find something positive. Even when our boss is stressed, we can say, okay, let's look at the positive in my boss. I may not like this right now, but let me look at the positive. Let me look at the positive in myself. Let me see if I can respond positively. Okay. All right, Sergio says, don't think about the future because it doesn't exist yet. Yeah, just stay now in the present. Okay, so let's write that under mindfulness. I'm going to summarize. I'm going to just stay here now in the present. Okay. Don't worry about the future. Okay. All right, fantastic. Okay, there's more to it than that. I'm not going to write more definition unless you give it to me. Okay, for me, mindfulness, I think, is a philosophy of life for my life and my job, more or less. Okay, So more or less, mindfulness is a philosophy of life for my life and my job. Okay. All right. So I really appreciate focusing on the positive things. But I also do need other people to help me focus on the positive things. So I always need other people to say to me, yes, but, or to make a joke when I'm feeling down, or not always, but I really appreciate it. I do love it when people make a joke when I'm feeling down or stressed, or will make a joke of the situation, or perhaps they will look at the positive in the situation, and then you go, yeah, absolutely. And it's really healthy. Yeah, so I don't know, what are your go-to positives when you are feeling stressed? When you are feeling stressed, what are the positive things you tend to remember? And this is all the whole thing about the Gratefulness Journal, isn't it? Actually, I should write that. I'm going to write that under mindfulness. It's not quite mindfulness, but let me write that here. A Gratefulness Journal. Okay. Write down 3 things a day that you are truly thankful for, and try and truly thankful for, and try and remember them throughout the day. Okay. All right. Let's see. Has anyone got any more input? Okay. The Gratefulness Journal is a really good way. I don't know if it's just 3 things. I think it's wonderful if we can try and see the positive, if we practice trying to see a positive thing in every situation and every person. That is really, really helpful for me. Sometimes I find it impossible, I have to be honest. But there are times when I can just go, with practice, I have come to points where I go, yeah, this is a positive thing, and this is a positive thing, and I'm going to stick it out. That's another thing. If you're going to be strong in the situation and you're just going to cope with all the negative, you decide you're going to carry on, even though the situation is negative, even though you have an awful boss, you're going to stick it out and see how you can manage. That means you are carrying on, you determined to be strong and to not allow those things to bother you, or to find ways to cope with the stress. Okay. Right. Yeah. Sometimes, with the solitude, it's also place is important. So somewhere where you can be quiet, where nature is very you hear the sounds of nature, where it's beautiful. That's an important aspect that not many people mention, is beauty in reducing stress. So yes, we're looking at the things that are positive, like sunshine, but we're also looking for beauty. Beauty has got a way of cheering us up in a really fantastic, it's just a fantastic manner. Sorry, it's really cold here. I'm really, I've got a blanket here and I'm struggling to keep warm. So place is also important. I remember going to the seaside once and just listening to the water, and just feeling like the waves were washing away my stress just by the sound. All right, we're going to have to stop there, but we are going to, yes, Carol says she's amazing, beautiful place, can help you to relax and calm down. I'm very thankful for a healthy life, to wake up every morning and feel good. It's a fun, yeah, it's, we wouldn't say it's a great fortune, it's a great blessing. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us. If you want to book a lesson with me, please do go to 5666908 on italki. And we've had a fantastic morning this morning. We've really enjoyed it, and we're going to carry on next week. Actually, we're going to carry on. So we'll carry on with stress management, maybe for 2 or 3 days. And please talk a lot, and do join with us. Okay, Danielle, take care and bye-bye. All right, take care. Bye then.
I'm never late. Number 3, British. Having a mare. Having a mare.
Having a mare. A nightmare. Like, horrible, real nightmare. In reality, basically.
Very good. Okay. That's exactly it.
It's a lot easier than that, previously.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd continue. Having a mare? You were having a mare before.
I was having a mare before, not understanding anything she was saying.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. There's our British and American slang. Tell us what you thought of it. Did you understand it? And we'll see you next time.
My name is Vũ Nguyễn. Tên tôi là Vũ Nguyễn. It's really amazing thing for me. From italki, I can meet people around the world, and they can give me more energy to live and more inspiration to live the world also. Very magical, yeah. When I can go on lesson and I feel that I'm doing a very good job, and then working at home is a very wonderful thing. I think that I can do something, and I'm doing something here. I think that I can share idea and talk with people. That is the first motivation for me to come here. The second thing, that I can have some money for my life, to make my life become better and more comfortable. It's very wonderful website of italki, because italki is the connection between every people in the world with each other. There are many purposes for us to learn a new language. Innovation is the most important. Not only study language, but also sharing idea and culture and everything else in the life. And through the learning and teaching, and we can share more idea, and we can share our life better. You know that because each person have their own experience and their own knowledge and their own way of living. And when we meet new people, and we think that we are discovering a new universe or a new area or something like that.
So it's wonderful that we have this diversity, and we should just learn from each other. But if you at least just learn a second language and expose yourself to a second culture, not only do you understand that culture better, but you understand your own culture better. And if most people just did that and were talking openly and honestly about themselves and other people, I don't think there would be any diversity problems. Because we're all learning from each other.
He's a very good student. He studied very well, and he just learned for, he just only studied for 1 month, but now he can speak very much Vietnamese. Later on, the student and the teacher can meet in a different country, and then the relationship become very good. We drink coffee together, and we go and I ride a motorbike, and I take them along somewhere beautiful together, and we talk together, and then they come back to their country, and we become teacher and student again. We study again. Yeah.
The number of refugees worldwide has reached historic levels as tens of millions of people seek asylum from conflicts in their home countries. Even for those able to reach countries willing to take them in, rebuilding their lives and careers in unfamiliar societies often proves challenging. For one group of refugees living in Istanbul, teaching online Arabic lessons to students across the world has offered a way to overcome these obstacles and establish new hope. As well as earning income, they have been able to share their experiences with people from different cultures and backgrounds, cultivating meaningful relationships with students.
My name is Rahaf and I'm from Latakia, Syria. Previously, I had a normal but busy life.
My name is Abdullah and I'm a Syrian guy from Homs, the capital of funny jokes.
Hello, my name is Amr. I'm an Arabic teacher on italki. I'm from Egypt.
Hi, I'm Hussam. I'm from Syria, Al-Hasaka, and I'm a teacher on italki now.
3 years ago, I came to Turkey, to Istanbul. Many challenges came in one time. Leaving a country is not, or leaving your home. This is one, it's like fish out of the group.
I mean, yeah, the challenge that my career is almost dead. This is the only challenge now. Online teaching, yeah, it solves this problem, of course, because you can just be wherever and get online and start your class.
What italki offered me is like new students I have never met from another continent, way far from me. They want to like learn my language. I feel like this is like, I feel sometimes emotional.
italki, Bessa College and NGO Small Projects Istanbul are working together on this project.
You know, it's important for people to kind of see and get to know someone who's experiencing a difficult time or who has had a difficult past, and to just remember people are people are people. We need to remember that, we have a shared humanity, and I think that gets lost a lot in the media or in the news.
I'm teaching Arabic for first-year students of Arabic in America. We both enjoy teaching and learning online. It's an amazing experience for me as a teacher. I find it so helpful for me, also for the students.
Going into it, people might like have these assumptions that you're supposed to like learn something about refugees or like understand something new. But I think it's like most valuable to realize that like you're not really learning anything new other than that like this is like just another person just like you.
My tutor Mohammed was like so nice and so willing to work with my level of speaking and comprehension.
At the beginning, teaching online was a new experience for me, and it had a lot of challenges, but now I'm used to it. And honestly, I'm enjoying teaching Arabic on italki.
I care now. I care more. I care more about the language. I care more about my students. Teaching Arabic is something valuable for me. Maybe give me hope, or I feel gain hope. It's reward for me.
Hi, I'm a language learning app.
Can we move on?
This is a dog.
I don't have a dog.
Repeat after me. This person eats bread.
I want to practice English for my job interview.
Incorrect. You haven't reached this lesson yet. Now repeat after me. This person eats bread.
Fine. This person eats bread.
That's better. Moving on.
¿Cansado de aplicaciones de idiomas inflexibles? Usa italki para aprender como tú quieras aprender y estudiar cualquier idioma con nativos.
Meet Peter. He is learning Chinese. He was studying on his own with textbooks, flashcards, and apps, but is still having problems with basic conversation. This is Maria. She loves learning English, but she doesn't have many opportunities to use it. With italki, Peter and Maria are able to get personal online lessons to help them become fluent in a foreign language. You can start learning a language on italki today. Just follow these 3 simple steps. 1. Select the language. English, Spanish, Chinese, French, Japanese. italki has teachers for every language. 2. Select the teacher. With italki, you can choose from thousands of experienced teachers from all over the world. And 3. Schedule a lesson. Online language lessons are the next best thing to living in a foreign country. With italki, you'll have a personal language teacher and real conversations with native speakers. Every day, thousands of people are connecting to international teachers through italki. Find a teacher today and become fluent in a foreign language.
Hi, my name's Tom. I'm from the US, I'm a chemical engineer, and I'm passionate about language learning. I've used italki to learn 8 languages to a conversational level. I grew up in Colorado, where I was exposed to many different cultures, which cultivated my interest in languages. One of the first languages I became conversational in was Norwegian. I decided to book a trip to Norway. To prepare, I found a group class with around 7 people. Not only were they extremely expensive, it was around $40 to $50 per lesson, but progress was also frustratingly slow due to the size of the class. I heard about italki from a positive review from a famous polyglot. I was amazed to discover that I could learn any language I want, one-on-one, and for the fraction of the price as offline classes. I thought, how is this even possible? I immediately signed up with 2 teachers in Norwegian. One teacher, we would have conversation lessons and go through a textbook, and with the other teacher, we would go through worksheets and chat about random things. So essentially, I structured the classes in a way that would suit my own learning style, which never would have happened without italki. Within a year, I was relatively fluent in Norwegian. I was so happy that I could actually go to the country and use the language in a practical setting. And the best part is that I really enjoyed the learning process. I thought, why stop there? I picked up Italian and mixed my interest in Italian cooking with lessons on italki. After learning Italian for a year and going to northern Italy, I was able to easily get around and communicate with people. I then decided to set myself a personal goal of passing an advanced Italian exam, and my teacher on italki helped me to achieve this. I was hooked. I'd found the ultimate formula for learning a language from scratch and staying motivated. I would book a holiday in a new country in 1 year's time so that I could put the language into practice. I did the same with Japanese, French, German, Russian, Czech, and Hungarian, and even explored Chinese, Thai, Serbian, Farsi, and Sicilian. From this process, I made so many valuable friendships and connections that has improved not only my communication, but also my confidence. Whether I'm watching the news in German, reading about Italian politics, speaking to my cats in Norwegian, on the phone to my friends in Bergen, or watching fitness and nutrition videos in Czech, I find a way to get at least some practice of one of the languages every day. I found the best way to stay motivated is to align my interests with my language learning, and in that way it doesn't take over my whole life, which people often believe. I find this way of learning on italki so much fun.
Lingby es una aplicación móvil que ayuda a practicar idiomas de manera instantánea conectando a usuarios disponibles en todo el mundo. Con Lingby encontrarás personas nativas dispuestas a ayudarte a practicar el idioma que desees aprender. Los usuarios con tiempo libre se mostrarán disponibles para recibir llamadas y de esta forma ganarán recompensas ayudando a otros usuarios. Así es como conectamos personas de forma colaborativa y gratuita en nuestra aplicación. Únete a nuestra comunidad, haz nuevos amigos y mejora en todos los idiomas que quieras. Descarga Lingby y practiquemos juntos.
Este es Peter. Está aprendiendo chino. Ha intentado estudiar por su cuenta con libros, tarjetas de vocabulario y aplicaciones móviles, pero sigue teniendo problemas para hablar. Esta es María. Le encanta aprender inglés, pero no tiene oportunidades para ponerlo en práctica. Con italki, Peter y María pueden recibir clases personales online para hablar con fluidez en otro idioma. Tú también puedes aprender un idioma en italki. Empieza hoy en 3 simples pasos. Primero, elige un idioma. Inglés, alemán, chino, francés, japonés. Italki tiene profesores para cualquier idioma. Segundo, escoge un profesor. Con Italki puedes escoger entre miles de profesores con experiencia de todo el mundo. Tercero, elige el horario de tu lección. Las clases de idiomas.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to italki's live classes. Today we are doing English and we're doing social issues. My name is Yemi. You may already know me. My name is Yemi. I'm originally from Barbados, but now I'm living in Japan and teaching English here in high school and on italki. Okay, so please drop a line in the chat to say your name and where you are from. Okay, so drop a line in our chat box on YouTube. Be sure to click live chat if you're on YouTube, and drop a line in the YouTube or on the italki page to say your name and where you are. Hello, Marina. Marina is early. And hi, Carol. Nice to see you guys again. Nice to see you guys again. Okay. So if you have been here, if you were here earlier for Benpang or Karen's class, you would have seen that we are extending our classes again. So today was supposed to be our last day, but we will have our last one more week next week. So our last day should be Friday next week. Of course, if you guys continue to be awesome, continue to attend the live classes, continue to participate, continue to tell your friends about italki and to subscribe and to take classes on italki, who knows? We could keep going, maybe. Okay, so keep coming to the live classes, keep participating, keep taking classes on italki with the teachers that you see here on the live class. Okay. All right. So today we are looking at social issues again. And today our social issues are sociology and psychology. Okay, so I'm just going to share a screen with you. Today we're looking at sociology and psychology. Okay, social issues, sociology and psychology. Hi, Sergio. Hi, Laura. We've got Laura here with us from Italy. Edith from France. Marina is from Luxembourg. And Sergio, depending on where you're from. Are you Italian? Are you Spanish? Maybe Sergio. I'm not sure. Ekaterina. Hello, Ekaterina. Ekaterina is from Ukraine. Okay. We've got Alex. Oh, hi, Alex. Yes, I am a cricket fan. Wow, that was random. I like cricket because in the West Indies, we play a lot of cricket. Okay. Danielle says hi from Barcelona, and Elisa says hi from Madrid. Okay, Shun from Asia. What part of Shun? Are you from Japan? Maybe you're from Japan. I'm in Japan, Shun, if you are from Japan. Okay, and Carol is from Italy. Oh, I did not know that, Carol. Okay. All right, so today we are talking about social issues again. And as we always start with the same thing, why? Why social issues? So today's topics, let me write them down. Today's topics are sociology and psychology. So a bit tougher topics, okay? But I think they come up a lot on exams. I cannot write sociology and psychology. Okay. So as we say every time, we might use social issues when we take a test. The reading section, we often see a social issue in a longer reading section. On the B2, C1, C2 test, we might have to talk about them in an interview or make a recording on a computer-based test. Or we might have to write about them in an essay. Okay, sometimes the listening for a test with a longer listening passage might also be about a social issue. We might have to use it in business with our colleagues, with our overseas colleagues if we're in an international company, with our partner companies, anything like that. And we might talk about them with friends if they're in the news or if something happens at work, okay? So we're looking at sociology and psychology today. All right, so for those who are new to this social issues class, here is how we structure it, okay? First, we have a listening. I read a passage and you listen for the 2 questions or 3 questions and try to hear the answers, okay? So first we do a listening, then we read the passage together, okay? Then we look at any difficult vocabulary, and then we discuss. We give our opinions about different things in the passage, okay? And about life in general, things that are related to it in general, okay? So, and at any time, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I am looking at both the chat on the italki webpage and on the YouTube live page, okay? Let's see, Sergio. Okay, Sergio is from Spain, so maybe Sergio. And Barbara from Spain. Hi, Barbara. Yes, Alex, lots of cricket legends from Barbados. My cousin is a cricketer, actually, but I won't say who. My cousin is also a West Indies cricketer. Actually, I have 2 cousins who are West Indies cricketers, 1 man and 1 woman. Okay, so today we are starting with listening, okay? And our 2 questions for the first passage are, what are social norms? Okay, what are social norms? What is deviance? What is deviance? So our first passage today is a little tough, so I will read slowly, and please try to catch what are social norms and what is deviance. Don't worry too much if it's difficult, because this is a difficult passage. This is a difficult topic. Okay, the other passages are easier, so stay with me. Okay, all right. So listen and find out what are social norms, what is deviance. Social norms are regarded as collective representations of acceptable group conduct, as well as individual perceptions of particular group conduct. They can be viewed as cultural products, including values, customs, and traditions, which represent individuals' basic knowledge of what others do and think that they should do. From a sociological perspective, social norms are informal understandings that govern the behavior of members of a society. Social psychology recognizes smaller group units, such as a team or an office, may also endorse norms separately or in addition to cultural or societal expectations. Deviance is defined as nonconformity to a set of norms that are accepted by a significant number of people in a community or society. More simply put, if group members do not follow a norm, they become labeled as a deviant. In the sociological literature, this can often lead to them being considered outcasts of society. What is considered normal is relative to the location of the culture in which the social interaction is taking place. In psychology, an individual who routinely disobeys group norms runs the risk of turning into the institutionalized deviant. At first, group members may increase pressure on a nonconformist attempting to engage the individual in conversation about why he or she should follow their behavioral expectations. Over time, however, if members continue to disobey, the group will give up on them as a lost cause. While the group may not necessarily revoke their membership, they may give them only superficial consideration. Okay, so that was a tough passage today. We started with a difficult one, but were you able to catch what the social norms are? What is the definition of social norms? And what is deviance? Were you able to catch these two things? Hi, Daniele. Today we are doing social issues and we're doing sociology and psychology. Okay, so we're talking about social issues today, Daniele. Let's see. Hi, Karen from Italy. Hi, Alessandra. Nice to see you again. Okay. Carol says social norms are collective representations of a group. Yes. So contact values, tradition, they are informal or formal. And deviance is not non-conformity. Yes. Not accepting the norms. Okay. Deviance is non-conformity. Yes. Yes, Ekaterina. This one is difficult. Okay. So we'll go through it slowly. And the others are easier. So do not worry. Okay. Barbara says, deviance happens when an individual or group doesn't follow the social norms. Yes. Okay, no problem, Daniele. Okay, so let's look at our passage. So today is a tough one. Okay, this one is from Wikipedia. Usually, like I said, we do simple English Wikipedia, which is much easier. But today's topic we took straight from Wikipedia. So there are some tough words. Okay, and the sentences are longer and tougher. So let's try. Social norms are regarded as collective representations of acceptable group conduct. So what does that mean? A social norm is basically just what everybody thinks we should do. Okay? So if everyone thinks we should be early, that's a social norm. If everyone thinks it is okay to be 10 minutes late, that is a social norm. Okay? So the majority of people think this is okay. Okay, so that's just fancy talk for that. Okay, additionally, as well as individual perceptions of particular group conduct. So what one person thinks about groups are also social norms. They can be viewed as cultural products. So if you think about it, social norms are a result of the culture that they are in. Things like values, customs, and traditions of your country or of your, mostly of your country, they represent your basic knowledge of what others do and think they should do. Okay, so when, because of your country, because of your social norms, okay, you think people should do this. Okay. Basically, that's what a social norm is, what people think they should do because of their society, the society they're in. From a sociological perspective, so sociological is the adjective from sociology, okay? From the perspective of sociology, social norms are informal understandings, so they're not written down, but everyone knows, okay? For example, like I mentioned, in your country, you know how time is perceived. For example, in Japan, people are always early. You are more than 5 minutes early every time, right? When I was in the military, always 5 minutes early. But other societies, right at the dot of the time is okay. And other countries, 10 minutes late is okay. Okay, so they're informal. There is no rule written down that says this. These informal understandings govern the behavior of members of society. Okay, and social psychology recognizes smaller group units, such as a team or office, may also endorse norms separately or in addition to cultural or societal expectations. Basically, not just countries have norms. Maybe your company has norms. Okay, maybe in your country, it's okay to be 10 minutes late, but at your office, they are very, very strict about time. Okay, so that would be your work culture has a different social norm. Deviance is defined as nonconformity to a set of norms that are accepted by a significant number of people in a community or society. So this just means deviance is not doing what everybody else thinks you should do. Okay? Back to our late example, everybody else goes somewhere 5 minutes early, and you get there 10 minutes late every time. They think you are deviating from the norm. You are deviant, okay? So simply put, if group members do not follow the norm, they become labeled as a deviant. In sociological literature, this can lead to them being considered outcasts, okay? Not a member of society. What is considered normal is relative to the location of the culture in which the social interaction is taking place. Okay, so social norms depend on where you are. Time is very strict in Japan. It is not very strict in Barbados. It's not very strict in Mexico. It's not very strict in Brazil. Okay, so what is considered normal is different. In psychology, an individual who routinely disobeys group norms runs the risk of turning into the institutionalized deviant. So someone who never follows the rules, people think, oh, he's different, she's different. And in the beginning, at first, group members may increase pressure on a nonconformist, attempting to engage the individual in conversation about why he or she should follow their behavioral expectations. So at the beginning, when someone is late a lot, maybe you will talk to them and say, you know, here we want to be this early, we want to come at this time, okay? But over time, however, if the members continue to disobey, the group will give up on them as a lost cause. While the group may not necessarily revoke their membership, let's make this a new sentence, while the group may not necessarily revoke their membership, they may give them only superficial consideration, okay? So, yes, difficult today. Let's look at some vocabulary. Yes, and let's check some comments. Marina says social norms are informal rules. Yes, hi, Monsef, from Tunisia. I think my first time meeting someone from Tunisia on these live classes. Welcome. Okay. So we have sociology. Sociology is the study of society, okay? And we can tell this ogi, I think, is a Greek suffix, and we see it on the end of lots of studies, things that we study. So we see it in psychology, study of the mind. We see it in biology, study of the anatomy, body, okay? Nature is biology. We see it in anthropology. Okay. So we see it lots of places. This ogi just means a study of something. So study of socio-society. Okay. A norm. A norm is a noun that means something that is normal. Okay. So we can say, I woke up at 5 this morning because I had an early class, but it's not the norm. I usually get up at 10. Okay. Deviance is the abstract noun. Deviant would refer to either a person, or we could use this as the adjective. And that means not following a norm, okay? Everybody does this, you do something different. They will say you are a deviant, or that is deviant behavior, or you have deviance from the norm. Conformity means to follow the norm. Non-conformity means not to follow the norm. So similar to deviant. And revoke means to take away a privilege. For example, if you have a passport, okay, and you commit a very bad crime, your country may revoke your passport. So they take away the passport, you can't use it anymore. Okay, so if you are deviant, they may or may not revoke your access to the group. Okay. All right, difficult topic, but let's discuss. How important are social norms to your culture? Okay, in your culture, is it important for everybody to do the same thing? And what are some social norms particular to your country or work culture? Okay, something you think, in my country, we have this, but most other countries don't have it. Okay, for example, in Japan, a social norm that is particular to Japan is that people wear different shoes inside schools and hospitals. Some other buildings too, also in your home. But I think many other countries also, people change shoes at home. People change shoes at school. So you have outside shoes and you have shoes you only wear inside the school. Okay. Similar for hospitals. If you go to the hospital, you leave your outside shoes at the door and there are slippers provided for the hospital. Okay. So that's a social norm that is particular to Japan. Okay, it's not written down, but everybody does it. Maybe at schools it is written down because schools write down everything, but for the hospital, not so much. Okay, what are some social norms particular to your country or work culture? Okay, Carol asked if we can use the word rule instead of norm. So the difference between the word rule and norm is the level of formality. Okay, a rule is written down. Okay, when you go to school, there will be a little book or something that says, rule number 1, always do this. Rule number 2, those are rules. Rules are written down. Okay, rules are decided. Everyone can say, we must do this. It is written here. Norms are not written down. Okay, they're just things that everyone agrees on in the society. Okay, so for example, one social norm in Western culture is that men don't wear skirts. Okay, that's a social norm. There's no rule anywhere written down. Most countries don't have a law that say a man can't wear a skirt. Scotland, you can wear a skirt. It's okay. Well, a kilt looks like a skirt, but no, it's not written down. Everyone just agrees a man should not wear a skirt generally. Okay, so straight men do not wear skirts for that reason. That's a norm. Okay, not written down, just everyone agreed on it. Is that okay, Carol? Let's see. So Ekaterina says endorse, disobey, and revoke. So we did revoke. Let's look at disobey. So this is a prefix to make something opposite, okay? So really what we need to look at is obey. Obey means to follow a rule or to listen to someone higher than you, okay? So if your mother says, go and clean your room, if I clean my room, then I obeyed my mother. I listened to my mother. But if I don't clean my room, I disobeyed my mother. She said clean, I did not clean. Okay, so that's disobey. And she says endorse. Where was endorse? Okay. Endorse means to, how to explain? Social psychology recognizes small groups such as team office may also endorse. So endorse means to give to give your consent or your opinion or something behind something. This is hard to explain. I'm going to look it up on the internet because I do not know how to explain it. It means to sign your name on something. Okay. I agree with this. I approve this. Okay. Yes. So declare approval, public approval or support. We can also see endorse with sports players. So sports players will endorse a product. So you have a famous athlete and they advertise a shoe. This shoe is good. That is endorsing, okay? Publicly supporting, saying, I think this is good. So in a team or office, they may endorse different norms. They may support different norms than the country, or more norms than the country, okay? So how about you? How important are norms to your culture? Okay, Japan is a very, very, norms are very important here. Everyone likes to obey the rules, obey the social rules, okay? So people do certain things. This is okay, and this is not okay, and people don't like to do things that are different than that. Passing a job or a thing to someone. I'm not sure what you mean, Elisa. Okay, yes, I endorse your opinion, Alessandra, yes. Okay, or you can endorse a political candidate. Okay, so this person is running for mayor or governor, and you as a famous person, another politician, a sports person say, I endorse this person. I support this person. Please vote for this person. Okay, so that is endorse. Ekaterina, you're welcome. Barbara says, we often realize our country's rules when we travel abroad. Yes, definitely. So I realized so much about Barbados being in Japan. Yes. Okay. So I don't think social norms are so important in Barbados, but we do have some social norms that are particular. I'll think about some examples in a minute. Let's see. We have Edith says it's difficult because we are used to the norms. Yes. Remark more the foreign social norms. Okay, so if you want to tell me something, some foreign social norm where you went somewhere and you thought it was strange, please tell me that as well. Okay, something everyone did that you thought was strange. Yes, and okay. Endorse. Okay, yes. Yeah, so endorse is supporting, Elisa, endorse is supporting an opinion or a person. Okay, so this one was tough. This one was tough, okay? Okay, let's move on to an easier one. Listening, first the listening. How much less, so a percentage, how much less are women paid than men? You're going to hear how much less women are paid than men on average. And what is the problem with anti-discrimination laws? There's a problem that they have. What is the problem? Okay, so listen for these two things. Listen for these two things. All right, let's listen. Occupational sexism refers to discriminatory practices, statements, or actions based on a person's sex occurring in the workplace. One form of occupational sexism is wage discrimination. In 2008, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, found that while female employment rates have expanded and gender employment and wage gaps have narrowed nearly everywhere, on average, women still have 20% less chance to have a job and are paid 17% less than men. The report stated, in many countries, labor market discrimination, that is, the unequal treatment of equally productive individuals, only because they belong to a specific group is still a crucial factor inflating disparities in employment and the quality of job opportunities. Evidence presented in this edition of the Employment Outlook suggests that about 8% of the variation in gender employment gaps and 30% of the variation in gender wage gaps across OECD countries can be explained by discriminatory practices in the labor market. It is also found that despite the fact that almost all OECD countries, including the US, have established anti-discrimination laws, these laws are difficult to enforce. Okay, so slightly easier. We're slightly easier now, okay? I think this one is from Simple English Wikipedia. I don't remember, but we'll check in a second. Slightly easier. How was it? I hope it was okay. So were you able to catch how much less are women paid than men? And what is the problem with anti-discrimination laws? How much less are women paid than men? And what is the problem with anti-discrimination laws? Okay, so Carol, in response to the last question, says a norm in Italy is to say you're welcome after a service. For example, when a waiter brings you the food. Okay. Daniele says, he's studying South Asian studies right now, and there's an adage saying, okay, there's a saying that in India, where everyone is in a hurry, but no one is on time. Okay, everyone is hurrying, but no one is on time. And he always wondered about that. Okay, so maybe it's caused by education in India. Yeah, so it's just different countries. Time is one of the biggest, I think, social norms differing between countries. Some countries are really strict. Japan, you are always, when something starts at 10, everyone is sitting down at 9:55. Okay? In Barbados, when something starts at 10, someone is always running at 10:05. So it's very, very different. And Daniele says Italy is pretty good with social norms. However, sometimes for our own interests, those social norms are not good for everyone. Yes. Okay, so Carol, in response to this question, says 70% pay than men and labor discrimination. Okay, let's check. Alessandra says 70% less than men. Barbara says, according to the text, women still are paid 20% less than men. Edith says 17% less than men. Marina says 30. Ekaterina says 70%. And Ekaterina says 20% less chance to get a job. Okay, so I don't think the anti-discrimination laws you were able to catch, but let's look at the passage and see how it went, because we have lots of different answers. Occupational sexism refers to discriminatory practices, statements, or actions based on a person's sex occurring in the workplace. One form of occupational sexism is wage discrimination. In 2008, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, found that while female employment rates have expanded and gender employment and wage gaps have narrowed nearly everywhere, on average, women still have 20% less chance to have a job. So right, Ekaterina, 20% less to have a job, and are paid 17% less than men. So the only person that got that right was Edith. So good job, Edith. The report stated in many countries, labor market discrimination, i.e., or that is, we pronounce this as that is, the unequal treatment of equally productive individuals only because they belong to a specific group. So women or Asians or Black people or disabled people, okay, who do the same work. But because they're disabled or they're women or they're Black or they're Asian, they get a different pay, okay? This is still a crucial factor inflating disparities, okay? I'm going to add this because I forgot to put it. Inflating disparities in employment and the quality of job opportunities. Evidence presented in this edition of the Employment Outlook suggests that about 8% of the variation in gender employment gaps and 30% of the variation in gender wage gaps across OECD countries can be explained by discriminatory practices in the labor market. It also found that despite the fact that almost all OECD countries, including the US, have established anti-discrimination laws, these laws are difficult to enforce. So this was the answer to the second question. The problem with the laws is that they are difficult to enforce. Okay, so let me add here disparity, because I did not put it. Disparity, maybe, wow. And enforce, if we need that. Okay. And this one is also from Wikipedia, not Simple English Wikipedia. Okay. On sexism. Okay. All right. So if you have any difficult words, please feel free to write them. Okay. Ekaterina, wage means the money you make. Okay. We usually think of two words. Okay. Wage and salary. Okay. Wage, we normally think of wage as per unit of work. So 1 hour, if you are paid by 1 hour, if you are paid $5 an hour, $10 an hour, we think of that as being a wage, okay? Because it changes depending on how long you work or how much work you do. Salary is just by a large time period. So every month, if I make $1,000 every month, that is a salary. It doesn't matter if the month has 20 work days, 22 work days, 10 work days, I make the same amount. We think of that as a salary. Okay, so those are two ways we get paid. Wage by a unit of time, 1 hour, 1 day, okay? Salary doesn't matter how much time, this period, you get this money, okay? And yes, so wage and salary, hopefully understand. Inflating disparities. So inflating, you may also know this word from economics. Inflation means to blow up. Okay, if you blow up a balloon, you inflate it. Balloon. Like that, that's inflating. Okay, so this is making disparities get bigger. A disparity is a difference between two things. Okay, for example, there is a disparity between the level of education in certain cities and other cities. Okay, so if you live in a big country, you have some cities, every single person goes to university, 100%. And in the countryside, maybe 20%. That's a disparity. Okay, the difference between these two things is a disparity. Okay. Enforce, in this case, enforce, and means to put something into action. Okay, so enforce means to be able to put the laws into action. Okay, we have these laws, but it's difficult to use them. Okay. Sexism. So the ism just means a system of something, okay? And we use it for many different things, not just discrimination. In this case, sexism means to discriminate, act differently on the basis of someone's sex, if they're male or female, okay? That's sexism. Classism is to act different on the basis of their class. If they have a lot of money, we act like this. If they don't have a lot of money, we act like this. Ableism is to act differently because someone is disabled or able, okay? So for example, ableism is if all of the places in your city do not have ramps for people in wheelchairs, that's a type of ableism, okay? People in wheelchairs can't go anywhere. Ageism is to discriminate on the basis of age, okay? For example, some companies won't hire people over 50 because they don't want to pay a pension, okay? They only get 10 years before pension, so they won't hire them, whether or not they're good at their job. So that's ageism. Gender, some people, depending on who you ask, some people differentiate between gender and sex, some people don't. Sex is a biological thing, okay? Depending on your chromosomes in your body, you are male or female. That's all about your body. Depending, again, on who you ask, some people differentiate gender, which is what you think of yourself as, okay? Do I think of myself as a woman? Do I think of myself as a man? That is gender, okay? Am I attracted to men? Am I attracted to women? All of that goes into gender, okay? Sex is fully biological. Gender is social, and it's what I think. So social and psychological. Glass ceiling, and also the bamboo ceiling, okay? I want you to think about these. Glass ceiling, try to write down, what do you think glass ceiling is? Okay, what does glass ceiling mean? Okay, we'll come back to that. You think about it. What does glass ceiling mean? Discrimination, we've said this word several times. Discrimination means to act differently, treat someone differently based on some factor of that person, which is not their skill, it is not their ability, it is not their anything that they do. It's just their group. So you discriminate against this person because they're a woman. Okay, even if they're really good at their job, even if they can do the same thing a man does, you discriminate. Or you discriminate because they're Asian. Okay, you treat them differently just because of their group. That's discrimination. Microaggression. So let's separate this into parts again. Micro is, what am I doing? Micro is small. Okay, so we see microeconomics means small, at a small level. Aggression is something where you attack someone, okay? So this is a small attack, okay? So a microaggression, for example, wouldn't be a big discrimination issue. It might be like on a train where someone is sitting, okay, and then maybe a disabled person comes onto the train and they sit next to them and the person gets up and moves away. That's a microaggression, okay? The person feels a little attacked. It's not a big thing, but it's a little thing that maybe the other person might feel, okay? That's a microaggression. Recently, we hear this word a lot in English. And minority, okay? We did minority previously, but minority is just a group that is not the main group, okay? So in this day and age, we have lots of minority, LGBTQ, okay? We have, we consider women a minority, but really women are about half the population. So a minority may not always literally be a minority. They have less power, okay? So maybe they might be as many people, 500 women, 500 men, but they have less power, okay? So the minority has less power. Black people, Asian people, disabled people, older people, we might think of all of these as minorities. Okay, so let's see what y'all thought for glass ceiling. What did you get for glass ceiling before we go back, okay? Before we go on. Oh, I haven't written any discussion questions. We'll have to add some. What is a glass ceiling? What is a glass ceiling? Let's see. Carol says, literally a ceiling made of glass. Nice, but not quite. Let's see. Shun says, you can see but cannot reach beyond. That is a good example. Okay. So a glass ceiling is the ceiling for women. Okay. So in a company, you start at the bottom, you work hard, you go up, you work hard, you go up, and you keep going like this. Okay. But we say glass ceiling because there is a level in some companies. Women can go to here, but they can't go over. They can see the top, but they can't go over. Okay. So they can't become the CEO. They can't become the top position. They can only go to the middle and stop because there is a glass ceiling. Okay. And I've heard recently also the use of bamboo ceiling for the similar situation with Asian people. If they can come to here and then they stop, that's called the bamboo ceiling. Okay. And they have other words that they use for the cap on where disabled people can go and different minorities. They have different words. Okay. But the glass ceiling started with feminists, and it's about women not being able to go over a certain point in a company. Okay. So let me check some comments. In fact, let me give us some discussion questions because I forgot to write them on this one, apparently. So let's talk about in your country. In your country, do women have the same working rights, okay, working conditions as men? Oops, have the same working conditions as men? Please tell me. And are there any groups in your country which experience a lot of discrimination? It can be in the workplace or in society in general. Okay, so disabled people, Asian people, anyone. So these two questions. In your country, oops, let's see how we can make this come up here a little. In your country, do women have the same working conditions as men? And what groups experience a lot of discrimination in your country? Okay. I will check some comments while you work on that. Yes, so Barbara said, yes, it's a non-physical limit that doesn't permit a woman to go up in a company, and that's for the glass ceiling. Yes, Edith says it's something you can't go through. Yes. Let's check some more comments. Daniele says every discrimination is unacceptable, but the worst ones are ageism and gender discrimination, according to Daniele. Okay. Let's see. Can glass ceiling be used for other minority? So we usually use glass ceiling only with women. Okay, only with women. Like I said, the bamboo ceiling is used for Asians. And there are other terms as well. Let me see if I can find them. Okay. Yes, Daniele. So the bamboo ceiling is the same as the glass ceiling, but for Asian people. Okay. If you can't go beyond a certain point, it is called the bamboo ceiling. For refugees, if you are a refugee, your country is at war and you go to another country, that is called the canvas ceiling. The canvas ceiling. So there are lots of different words. Okay, let me put this one here. Canvas ceiling. So canvas is a kind of cloth that you make a tent out of canvas. Yes, so the canvas ceiling is what refugees can't go through. Refugees cannot go through the canvas ceiling. Okay. So tell me about your country. Do women have the same working conditions as men? And what groups experience a lot of discrimination in your country? Please tell me. Please tell me. Okay. I will keep looking for other things about the glass ceiling. Let's see. Edith says in France, they have the same rights in theory, but in fact, they earn less because they often work less because of children. Yeah, so a lot of companies or countries don't find a way to compensate for having children. In Japan, people don't like to promote women because there is an idea. Okay, so let's say two people come into a company at 18. One is a woman, one is a man. A Japanese company will look at the woman and say, someday she will go on maternity leave. So that means she won't work here all the time. Okay. And in Japan, there is a tendency after having kids to quit your job as well, not come back to work. Okay. So they might think, oh, she's not going to come back to work. Let's put more effort, okay, and more trust in the man who will stay here. Okay. So women have a sort of different glass ceiling here in Japan because there is a perception that they will quit their job at some point in time. Okay. Let's see. Alessandra says in her country, it depends because most of the time men make their careers easier than women. Okay. Barbara says she has a question. Is old people an offensive word? Is it better to say maybe aging people? Some people get offended. I don't get offended, right? So again, this is a social norm. I think in the US, for example, there are many more words that people don't want to use. Then in Barbados, we are quite free. We use whatever word. And for me, if you don't have a bad intention, if you don't have a bad meaning, it is okay. But this is a social norm. So if you go, for example, in America, it's bad to say Black people. They use the word African American. Okay. For me, I have no problem with the term Black people. UK people don't have a problem with the term Black people. Okay. So this is a cultural norm, a social norm. Okay. You have to get used to the society you're in. I think generally, if you use a word like that is not necessarily a bad word by itself, and you don't live inside a country, people will forgive you as a non-native speaker. Okay. So even if it is in their culture, it's not so good, they will say, oh, this person is not a native speaker. It's okay. All right. Let's see. Marina says migrants and women and old people for people who are discriminated against. Okay. Yes. So refugees, as we mentioned with the canvas ceiling. Okay. They can't get into jobs or they can't go past a certain pace, which is interesting because sometimes refugees in their own country, they were doctors, they were lawyers, and now they work in a restaurant washing the floor, okay, just because they're a refugee. So all of those skills are being wasted. Let's see. Yeah, Marina, you read a lot of books about old people. It really depends on where you are. Let's see. Shun. Okay. Carol says there is sexism too, especially when people receive sexual attention from their boss, and it's difficult to report it. Yes. So there is also a type of sexism, sexual harassment, power harassment, where their bosses will sexually discriminate against them. You can have a promotion if you do this. Okay. Recently, we have seen some cases in this coronavirus environment where some people have said, because many people don't have an income now, it's difficult to pay their rent. And we have seen some sexual harassment in this area. So landlords say, okay, you don't have to pay rent. Just do this for me. Okay. To women. So there is sexual harassment in that area as well. Yes. Let's see. Elisa, depends on the type of job and the company where you work. Okay, yes. So some companies have good conditions for women and men, some don't. In Japan, like I said, women usually have the conditions themselves are okay, but the opportunity for things like promotion or training is a little better for men. I'm not sure about the salary. In my case, because I work as a native speaker specialist, our salary is universal. So there's no discrimination against men and women, differentiation between men and women in my job as far as pay. As far as pay is concerned, there is no discrimination. Okay. There may be some companies that prefer to hire a man or prefer to hire a woman. I don't know. I hear that there are a lot of conversation schools who prefer a woman. Because Japanese women are more comfortable with women. Okay, a man will go to a class with a man, but some women don't want to go to classes with men, so they prefer to hire a woman. Okay, and that way they can have both men and women come to their school. Let's see. So Shun, we don't like to use the word yellow people in English because it has a bad history. Okay. Japanese people often say yellow. They call themselves yellow, but in English, we don't do that because it has a really bad history. And so we say Asian. Okay. Maybe don't say it in front of some English speakers. They will feel very uncomfortable. Okay. Let's see. Daniele says, okay. Women, yes, you did write something about women and men at their job before. Mm-hmm. Miguel, hi Miguel. He says he's from Spain, and the kind of job he has, he doesn't see discrimination against women, but to older people or people from Africa. Yeah, so discrimination can also be against one country's people, one area's people. Okay, so not just a physical, the way they look. People might be discriminated against for their language because we have a lot of immigration now. So you might have people who don't speak the national language well. They might be discriminated against. Okay. Let's see. Daniele says the fact that people still, there still exists discrimination between males and females, especially when you work off the books. Okay, so off the books. Maybe you don't know this term. Let me write that down. Off the books. So when we say the books, we think of all of our records. Okay, we have a notebook and we write down how everyone is paid, how many hours. Okay, but some jobs, especially if people are migrant or refugees, okay, they don't have the proper status, or they're doing dangerous work, or there's some reason that people don't want to record this work. So you are off the books. You are not in the book. You're off the books. Okay. If you're working off the books, there's a lot of discrimination, says Daniele. Okay. And for Elisa too, which groups experience a lot of discrimination depends on the city. So some cities in Spain are very tolerant and some are not. Yes. Mm-hmm. And Daniele says in Italy, they saw a lot of immigrants from Libya, Tunisia, and other countries. And this is why the people of Africa are affected more. Okay. He says one of the most affected people in discrimination are immigrants who prefer working for the organized crime or illegal labor. You say prefer. I don't know. Do they prefer, or is it that they can't get other jobs? Interesting idea. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Marina, elderly is more scientific. It depends on who, again, what country. People have different ideas about what is a good word to use and what is a bad word to use. And Vietnamia says, hi Vietnamia, you ate all of your lunch. Very nice. Okay, yes. So today we looked at two sociological things. We didn't get into psychology, so maybe we will try psychology next week. Okay, maybe we'll get into psychology next week because I have some articles prepared for psychology as well. Remember, today was supposed to be our last day, but because you guys are so awesome, you're amazing, we're going into next week as well. Okay, so we're extending until next Friday. keep watching, keep commenting, keep participating, keep signing up for classes on italki, keep inviting your friends to the live and to italki. Maybe we can keep this going for a little bit longer, okay? I think it's a great opportunity for everyone to have access to free English, free Chinese, and free Japanese. So keep participating, keep coming back, keep signing up for classes on italki. I will see you on Tuesday. My next lesson is on Tuesday. So I will see you on Tuesday at 10:15 Spanish time, 5:15 in Japan, 4:15 in China, many different places. But I will see you on Tuesday. We will be doing social issues. Since we didn't get into psychology today, we will be going for psychology next time. So thank you very much. You're welcome, Elisa, Carol, Daniele, Daniel. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Shun and Vietnamia, Marina, Barbara, thank you all for being a great audience and participating. I will see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye for now.